Have you ever played racquetball before?
No, but I'm just intrigued by the amount of racquetball courts I see listed all over the fucking place.
Right, you've never lived a place where white people are the predominant ethnicity. Fucking racquetball. They're actually probably technically squash courts, but squash courts and racquetball courts are kind of the same thing.
Uh-huh.
Racquetball can best be described as murder tennis.
That's what I've heard. You literally just smack the shit out the ball. Then you
It's a
hit the
little
player,
more
right?
complicated than that. Like, I can explain the rules of racquetball at a rough glance if you want.
Sure.
Well, so there's a line. It's been a couple years, so I'll probably get some of this wrong a little bit. There's a line a little bit up the wall. I think it's like about net height it's like maybe 3 feet off the ground or something. And the general rule of racquetball is so long as when you return the ball, it doesn't touch the ground and it gets over that line. And that may be squash. I may be confusing the two. Or it may be just it has to get off the ground and hit that back wall to be fine. But when it returns back to you, you only get one bounce on the ground before it's a problem. So typically you're playing kind of a duo, meaning it's 1 versus 1, and you're in the murder box. And the strategy in some ways is to fucking wail on that ball as hard as fucking possible. Not to make it harder for you, but because when it comes back, it like ricochets off multiple walls, it becomes harder to keep track of.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun, but it doesn't show up in it. Like, it's tennis, but more expensive in a weird way because you need eye protection.
Well, I figured as much. I mean, shit.
Yeah, and you play with like a rubber ball meant to like murderize bounce. Unlike that soft, cushiony tennis ball, this is a fucking like hollow core, bouncy ass rubber ball. Like it's basically like playing tennis with one of those fucking super balls, kind of. But you're locked in a cube, and death is all around you. And
I kind of figured, considering I've seen like some stuff like before in the past with like racquetball, and it just looks fucking painful.
It is a very white people sport. I don't know why my kind invented it. Like, we looked at tennis and said, how can we combine tennis and dodgeball? Racquetball. Hello and welcome to the Wicked Awesome Cast, episode 105, right?
Yes, 105.
105. Yeah, I guess it's an okay time to be alive. I hate that phrase. Good time to be alive, as in any other point in time when you were alive. No, it's a bad time to be dead when you were supposed to be alive. I fucking hate myself right now. God fucking damn it. Yes, welcome to the Wicked Awesome Cast, official podcast of Something Wicked Studios. We're a video game podcast, allegedly. I think, kind of, sort of. I don't know. We pretend to be. But yeah, welcome. Congratulations, you found us or something. Why am I always so fucking sarcastic in these intros? Like, Lottie fucking die. You found us something you maybe listen to with some frequency. Good job, champ. No, welcome. Actually, we're glad you listen. Why am I being an asshole right now?
Welcome to the fucking podcast,
motherfucker.
That you found on the internet, asshole.
Thanks for using our website's bandwidth.
Yeah. I mean, I guess if you want to fucking stick around and listen, we've got a little bit of a podcast. We talk about games and shit.
They run about an hour or two, typically closer to 2 hours. So yeah, I guess we could fill some time for you. Whatever.
Yeah, you got a long fucking drive. Well, guess what? You can put up with our shit, and we'll put up with your shit for 2 hours.
After 100 some odd episodes, we should be better at this, shouldn't we?
We should.
Lottie fucking do. Why are we assholes this week?
I don't know. I have no idea. Maybe it's because we actually have news this close to fucking E3.
It's so fucking weird. Like, this should be me scraping a barrel being like, did you know Sea of Thieves had a live stream dev thing? And it was like, yeah, we're gonna fix that game. That also happened this week. We're not gonna fucking talk about it, because it's like, yep. What do we have to say on that? I bet it happened. Will it make Sea of Thieves better? Time will tell. Probably not.
Well, now that we've got that out of our system, we can welcome the people legitimately.
Welcome. I even sound sarcastic doing that. Like, welcome to our secret club. We don't want you here. The more people that listen to us, the less exclusive we are. No.
It's very hipster of you.
Please don't listen to anything I'm saying right now. I don't know why I'm like this in this intro.
I'm a little worried myself. Are you alright?
I don't know. What's wrong with me? Yes, this week at work sucked. I worked 50 hours this week, 20 of which was in 2 days. Actually, more than 20. I worked one 16-hour day and like one 12-hour day. My Wednesday and Thursday sucked. Maybe that's it.
I've had actually a good week. I can't complain too much.
That's good. Should we just get into weeks and bypass my jackass of intro?
Well, yeah, let's tone it down a little bit.
Yeah, let's try and take this back down to social levels, shall we?
Yes.
Yeah. Keep listening, whatever, I guess.
Even that!
This is my bit this week. I'm not happy we have listeners. Why am I saying these things? Why? What happened to me this week? Let's get into my week, I guess.
Yes.
In non-gaming news, I went to a graffiti exhibit on Saturday of last week, right after we recorded the podcast, or day after we recorded the podcast. So Sunday, I guess. It was cool. I'm much more to say it's called like Beyond LA or something like that. I beat the hipsters there, which is kind of fun. Like, ever managed to beat hipsters to a thing they'd be super into?
No.
It's kind of awesome because they're all outside at the gates waiting for will call, and you're the first group of the first day to go in, and you're like, oh, we planned ahead. We're gonna go soak in all that art before you even get to Instagram it, fuckers. It was cool. I'm a huge fan of street art, and I mean real street art, meaning like fucking vandal ass shit, and they had plenty of that stuff, so that was pretty cool to see.
Nice.
My favorite part was they had a collection of, they took a bunch of miniature like RC home train car things and graffitied the shit out of them. Like, that is so fucking awesome. Not even tiny trains are safe. Yeah. But in video game news, I've been playing 3 things. 2 of them kind of Destiny-ish. One of, I'm not sure why I played it. First off, I played the Detroit Become Human, or whatever it's called, demo from David Cage. It's the thing they had as part of E3 where you're that cop and you're a robot and you negotiate that hostage not to death.
Yes, I remember seeing that.
Yeah, I will say this is the David Cage game that I didn't immediately have a like gut reaction of fuck this shit to.
Mm-hmm.
Which I have not felt since Indigo Prophecy or Fahrenheit for our European listeners. Most of David Cage's stuff kind of fills me with this pretentious ass bullshit. Like, it's weird. This one feels still a little overdone, but kind of cool because there's some systems going on. And unlike other David Cage games where like there's always a right path to David Cage games, this one kind of feels like there's a little more room for you're gonna get to the same conclusion or similar stuff or same web, but there are multiple paths there, and the demo did a good job of intriguing me to stuff where, like, it's not quite clear what the consequence system is, but I guess, like, my cop android's programming came slightly unhinged as a result of my actions. I think that's because I just straight fucking lied to someone. Like, I was very much playing it kind of as a, like, no, you're going to die, so I'm going to lie to you all the fucking I can because you're going to die and it won't matter. Like, you're going to wind up dead, so fuck it. Like, who cares if I lie to you? But I enjoy it's a consequence of, like, yeah, if you lie to your kind to, like, do what the humans want, like, you're betraying your programming, maybe, kind of. It didn't explain a lot of stuff. It was interesting. I kind of dug it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was wondering if they'd be stuff like that. You mentioned, like, the programming got unhinged and all that stuff as a result of what happened.
Yeah.
Like, I've never played one of these games from that guy who just, David, what was his name was?
David Cage.
I've never played a David Cage game, at least that I know of.
They range from to really fucking pretentious. Heavy Rain's probably the best one and the most, like, David Caging as hard as David Cage can fucking David Cage. Beyond Two Souls is the most recent one, and I don't like that one. Like, that one I think is genuinely bad. This one kind of had some stuff going on I kind of dug, but at the same time, like where Heavy Range is just like lousy with a fucking swipe QuickTime button input QuickTime events kind of thing. This one had a bit of that, but also it wasn't as bad. And unlike Beyond Two Souls, where it's like, oh, we have this gimmick where you can play a ghost, this one felt kind of Telltale, where it's like, no, it's kind of mostly a consequence and action system, and like you like at least the cop system was like you should fucking gather evidence, but you should not be fucking slow about gathering evidence because hostage situation and like people will get hurt and like taking too long is a choice. Other David Cagey games have had moments where it's like, well, the game obviously wants me to cut off my finger to stop this terrorist, so I'll just do it. I can't believe you cut your finger off. Well, that was obviously the right choice, so fuck you, game. Your character will remember this. Yeah, he's fucking missing a finger. I hope he's not, like, every day waking up going, where's my finger?
Right? Like, oh, damn it. What happened here?
Like,
someone fill me in.
Will the consequence be in, like, 8 hours I have to salute someone and they straight shoot me because I now lack my index finger or something and I can't salute properly? Is that, like, that's kind of the consequence of these games, though. Like, that's how, like, David Cagey they can get, where it's like, I see you're missing a finger and you can't, like, operate this mech hand correctly because it requires 4 fingers and a thumb. This is the failure state you found yourself in. This was the consequence for doing what we wanted you to do, but it wasn't. You should have tried the 5th option. Gargle with mouthwash and spit it in my attacker's eyes? Yes, that one. Like, I'm making shit up, but that's kind of how fucking out there David Cage games can get.
Okay. Huh. Those are... That... I don't know if I can get into that. That's
to each their own. Like, I have a history of not liking these, but Detroit seemed actually kind of cool. Like, it may be the best game he's made, which, depending on who you are, is not saying anything, or it's like me being like, this might actually technically be a video game. He has that, okay, so he has that Hideo Kojima issue where it's not totally clear he really wants to be making a video game. Like, it almost feels like he'd much rather be making a movie you have to see, like, 5 or 6 times, where, like, the 5 or 6 different showings are slightly different. Like, he really wants to be some, like, artsy noir bullshit guy who's like, yes, I made this movie, there are 7 different versions of this movie. I'm not telling you which one you saw, and the killer might be different depending on which one you see. Yes! I don't know. Yeah.
It's not grabbing me.
I'm
still kind of like...
No, and that's the issue. Like, either you like David Cage games, or you hate David Cage games, or you're like me, where you're like, I need to know. I don't typically like these games, but I gots to know. What's this one like? Oh, it's a David Cage game still. Money well spent. Like, there's a whole online community of people like me, like, that are, like, watching David Cage being like, okay, is this a David Cage video game? I'm gonna check it out to make sure it is, because we need you out there making, like, tone-deaf, socially not quite right, like, overly, like, just to see, like, we need your, like, lack of, what's the right word for it, like, respect for the topic out there to remind us what a good video game is. They're often very kind of, they say something, but they say it in, like, the exact wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like, yeah, your point is correct, but you conveyed it all wrong. Congratulations. Yeah, but I played
These games just don't call to me, it sounds like. I've heard of Beyond Two Souls, but...
No, if you have PlayStation Plus, Beyond Two Souls is or was free for PlayStation Plus, I think the month we're recording this in, so if you're curious, go check it out. But I would never actively recommend a David Cage game, because I don't think I've ever actually enjoyed one, but I've played, like, the majority of them because there's something in them I find beautiful, but for, like, all the wrong reasons. It's like, you could not have, like, done this more tone-deafly or socially, like, less consciously. Like, it's... I get it. Like, they're very French, is maybe the right word for it, because David Cage is French.
Okay.
they feel very, yeah, like they except for the fact they typically get big budgets because these fuckers sell and they're popular in circles. Like they feel very kind of like that indie game that's trying to tackle a social topic, but like it's tackling a social topic that the creator definitely should not have. Like it'd be like an indie game developer who's identifies as a neo-Nazi and like has a fucking swastika painted in their forehead, trying to tell an accurate story of what it was like in Auschwitz, where they might get like all the plot points correct, but you still feel as though the fact he's a Nazi might color, some of the telling a little bit. David Cage is not a Nazi, but that's kind of that's occasionally the kind of weirdness that some of these topics are conveyed with. He's also allegedly a creepy dude, so there's a whole Ellen Page debacle because she was the main character, or she mocapped and acted the main character of Beyond Two Souls, and like there was I think we talked about on this podcast actually way the fuck back when, but like they did a full body scan of her naked, and she never shows up naked in the game, but like there was weird shit where it's like, oh yeah, you could like totally find full 3D renderings of Ellen Page out there that were like from that studio, where it's like, what the fuck?
I remember that was the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, like sitting somewhere in the game files or some shit like that.
Yeah, and like David Cage's reaction was, I do not get why someone would find this wrong. It's like, it's a little creepy, dude. Okay, it's a lot creepy, but...
It is creepy, but I mean, didn't she... I mean, not defending it, but I'm just curious. She did not, like, volunteer, or rather, like, consented to be 3D scanned nude or something?
No,
like, if she wasn't, then I totally get the violation.
I'm going to end this one because I don't know the full story on it. I don't think she... Like, the issue is, like, it shouldn't have been developed. Like, it's... Why was it textured and shit?
That's
like,
true.
Why did someone put time and effort into texturing this when you only see her in the shower from, like, the shoulder up, where it's like, no, you could have totally done a texture map that, like, just was like a skin-shaped blob from the bottom down. Like, there was detail put into this that did not need to be there because it was not visible.
Okay, that makes
like
sense.
This was developed in ways it should not have been developed. Like it'd be like if this is totally kind of an unfair example of it's like it'd be like if we found out that under Master Chief's armor there was a fully modeled penis, where it's like, why would you spend time and effort on this?
Okay.
It's like if you take the armor off and explain these clothes, it's just fucking him with his dick hanging out. It's like, why would you bother rendering this? His skin is obviously the armor. Like, why is there even a face in that helmet? Why does it look like Chucky from Child's Play? Why would you do this, Bungie? Yeah, it's that, I guess. Like, it's a really weird example to give, but like that's the kind of like, but why did you do this? But on more productive gaming news, I guess, I played a mobile game called Shadowgun Legends because someone told me it was like Destiny 2 but for phones, Destiny 1 but for phones. And they're kind of right. The game doesn't totally suck, but it's also not great.
Is it kind of like what do you call it? Is it still have all the loot box shit and stuff like that?
It's got stuff. You can definitely put money in the game. It is most definitely a mobile game. But it's kind of gonna. It's like, wow, that's totally the Cabal. Wow, that's totally the Hive.
Oh, so it's one of those like weird ripoff ones.
Yeah, it does more stuff. Like, I guess it's a sequel technically to a game that was kind of like Gears of War. I guess like I've never played the original one, so if you're looking for a mobile game that's not Fortnite or PUBG, maybe go check this out. Like, I didn't hate it. I find manipulating a game in mobile fucking weird without a controller, but that's a separate topic. But like, it is a game. I will give it that. And the shooting controls don't totally suck on it, but I guess this is a long way to get to the main thing I played this week, which was I played the Destiny 2 Warmind expansion.
How was that? Because I have not been wanting to try that.
It is better than Curse of Osiris was, but I'd say it's fucking. It's definitely not the best thing, and it also contains a very weird realization for me, which is why I am playing that game now on the PS4 as opposed to PC.
I heard there was also drama with that because, like, 2 of the raids are
strikes.
two of the strikes are recycled, and then one of them is the new one, but it's exclusive to PS4.
Yep, and that is why. So back when it was just Xbox versus PS4, the joke was, well, there's technically more Destiny on PS4 because you had in kind of vanilla Destiny 1, you had a whole extra strike, and then when the two DLCs came out, you got a strike exclusive to both of those DLCs. Like, they were never the best strike, but in a game that's all about repeating content, a little bit more variety goes a long-ass way. Like, the fact it's like, oh, there's a couple extra exotics in these games, too, also goes a long-ass way. It shouldn't, but so then, I had the moment where you never experienced this because you didn't have a. Did you transfer a character over from on your PS4 account?
No.
So if you did that, which I did, there is certain in-game dialogue that is different, and the kind of newbie player version of that dialogue, the non-imported character, I fucking hate as a veteran player, and it happened in the Warmind stuff where my ghost was like, "Oh hey, this looks like some shit from that DLC you played," and I'm like, "Oh shit, yeah it does, huh?" And it was like, oh shit, that's why I hate the PC version, because my ghost is a dumbass, and I have to have stuff explained to me where it's like, oh, these Vex look different. Yes, they're from the Vault of Glass. Like, I had not played the Curse of Osiris DLC yet either. I went back and played that on my PS. So, I guess back up a step. I had not touched my PS4 character since before Curse of Osiris, because I had not played that yet. So I found myself fucking power leveling my character's armor level and stuff, just so I could actually get into and not die instantly in Warmind, which, if it's possible, maybe play Warmind under-leveled, because that expansion is real fucking cool if it's your back against the wall the entire time.
Okay.
Like, that game, I'd forgotten how good Destiny is when Destiny is hard. And Destiny 2 was not good. It was never really hard at any point in the time. Like, that game has had an easy issue, I think, since it came out, and like playing that content like severely under-leveled, like almost 30 points under like recommended light level, under-leveled, was really fucking fun, where it's like, okay, I have to be tactical now. Why? Because a lot of this shit can one-shot me. Yeah, it does some stuff, like the patrol zone for it. Actually, it's a patrol zone, unlike Curse of Osiris, so yeah, I suspect most of Destiny 2's players at this point like bought like the collector's edition or whatever the equivalent was, so you're probably technically getting this for free. So if you're thinking about going back, go check it out. It's fine. Like I'm not sure I'd even recommend buying Destiny 2 at this point, but like this is better than Curse of Osiris was, and it's fun, but it's also got some really dumbass problems. But they're like the Valkyrie, that crazy ass spear weapon you get, is kind of fucking cool. So you can pick up a spear weapon at certain points where it's like this, like you're throwing a missile at people, and it's really kind of fucking fun.
Well, throwing a missile does sound kind of cool.
Yeah, it's like a light lance or something, but it. So in Rise of Iron, they gave you the Lord Saladin's axe. It kind of plays like that, where it's like, this is cool. I feel powerful when I have this, and that makes me feel cool. Yeah, it's weird. Like, my time away from that game has made me realize just, like, how aggressively linear parts of it are, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Like, it's also this weird moment where it's like, you know what's a really fun-ass game? Destiny. Destiny plays real fucking fun.
Well, that's the thing, though. I enjoyed the gameplay.
Yeah.
Like, I really liked it on PC. I genuinely enjoyed
Yeah.
it. It's just, I don't know. Like,
yeah, no, I'm weirdly with you on this one. Like, I definitely have this weird ass moment where I'm like, this is really fun. Why did I stop playing? And then I'm like, oh right, because yeah,
because this is what it is.
Yeah, like it was one of these things where I'm like, wait, when I'm done with this campaign, I'm probably going to stop playing because like. And to be fair, I have a little more stuff I want to go poke around it. I got lucky and got a fucking kick-ass exotic right off the bat. It's a new SMG to the expansion that, like, when you kill stuff with it, it reloads itself without having to reload it. So I'm like, this is kind of fucking cool. It's like Sweet Business, but not minigun. It's an SMG. So it's like, this is fun. This feels zippy. This is neat.
Well, since I technically did buy the one that has the expansion, I may, and this is a may, like a very big maybe, consider trying it out. But
I think it's worth if you're already in Destiny 2, it's definitely worth checking out because it's kind of neat. Like that's the issue. It's definitely way better than Curse of Osiris was, but I'm not sure. I wouldn't say it's meaningfully more than Curse of Osiris was. Like if you played Destiny Year 1, I mean Destiny Year 1, not Destiny 2 Year 1. I really do mean Destiny. Like this is very much like, hey, we put out more content. Are you happy now? Like it's weird where kind of I'm at this point where it's like, what if you just bundled these two into one thing and made them bigger at the same time? Like the content spikes are great, but they're not frequent enough. And again, like I think all the Destiny players are sitting here going, okay, so when's Destiny 2's version of Taken King? Because that's when Destiny 1 actually got like defendably good.
Mm-hmm.
And like to be fair, I played way too much of Destiny 1. Like Destiny 2, nowhere near those numbers. But like the fact I still see sites like Polygon running like, oh, here's what loot's in the game this week, etc. Here's what Xur's got, makes me go like, what the fuck is going on? Like, why? Why are you bothering to waste bandwidth on this? Like, no one's like, yes, people are playing this, but like, seriously, why? Yeah, I don't know.
Well, you're a brave soul for giving it a shot. It's nice to know that
I had to know.
Insider.
I was curious. I'll probably poke at it a little bit more. Like I think I'm definitely done with it on PC status. It's like the PC version is better, but my character on PC fucking sucks, and there's less Destiny.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I like it a lot more on PC, and it's just the idea that they have a third one that's exclusive only to PS4 really fucking blows. And
well, they had that in Curse of Osiris too. They had that at the launch of the game. The Taken strike in the Earth Dead Zone. That like it's not the best strike, but it's full of some kind of cool lore. That's a PS4 exclusive. I think it's that one.
Well, if Destiny's going to continue this in any sense, I think it might be their contract with Sony or whatever. Yeah. I don't know. If that keeps going, then I don't see any reason to support Destiny at the PC level at all.
Yeah, and there's always been talk of like, oh, you'll be able to. Like, it's the like beyond the content issue. My issue is the fact that like, for better or worse, the character I'm playing on the PS4 version is the character I played in Destiny 1. I transferred that character over. Like that, those small dumb dialogue changes shouldn't matter to me, but they do. Like it's one of the few things in this game that respect the fact that I played a shit ton of Destiny 1. And, like, in a weird way, that matters to me. The fact that my ghost isn't a total dumbass. The fact that, like, in the opening part of the game, fucking Shaxx like, calls you by the nickname you get in Rise of Iron, as opposed to just fucking Guardian. It's like, oh, it's you. Fucking yeah, you can fix this shit. Versus it's like, get out. Okay, literally, it's like, it's the difference between feeling like it's, oh shit, you're here, we got this, bros, he's here. Do you see what Guardian's here? They got this. Versus in the kind of like, I start a new character of one, it's like, oh, Guardian, go into my armory. Versus the one I got, oh, you're here? Cool. Dude, we should hang. Or just like, yeah, it's like, it's dumb stuff. It's like, oh, that banner, we haven't, like, that was fucking, not Skolas, what was the guy from Prison of Elders called? The Varix? Nah, the one fallen you could talk to who was friendly. It's like, that's his fucking mark. What the hell's up with that? They've done fucking nothing with it, but at the same time, as a veteran Destiny player, my ghost goes, huh, that's the House of Judgment signal. And I'm like, yes, it is. Versus a new character account kind of thing. It's like, I don't know this fallen symbol. I'm like, yes, I fucking do. But I've gone on about Destiny more than I intended to. Yeah, Destiny. Warmind's out. If you're still playing Destiny, I'm sure you've already played it. If you're, like, curious, go check it out if it's free. Like, again, like, I wouldn't recommend buying Destiny. Like, fuck, a Humble Bundle just came out that you can get Destiny for PC for $15. Like, maybe you should read into that some. Or don't, I don't know.
You've delivered more content for Destiny than fucking Bungie has.
Yeah, there's an argument to be made that SWS has more Destiny-based content than there are hours in Destiny to fill with content.
Yeah, that's a sad reality.
I'm exaggerating some for comedic effect, but I also don't think I'm that wrong about that sentence. Like, I think the number of hours of video we have based on that game is definitely longer than Destiny 1's campaign is. But yeah, what have you been up to, man?
Well, this past weekend was my birthday weekend, so I
Woot.
kind of yeah, I kind of just took it easy. Didn't really do much, which I was really happy with.
Didn't
I
we
did
talk
have
about
some
this
friends.
last week? Like I made a joke
Well,
through fucking French toast or something.
well, yeah, but I actually did stuff after the podcast. That was
Okay.
related to my birthday because I had my friends who were visiting from out of town
Gotcha.
come by and see me. So we went to this place called Meatzilla.
How was Meatzilla?
It was really good. I really liked it. So they're big. Like,
Explain Meatzilla.
so Meatzilla's a big, like, it's a local little burger place that makes like these gargantuan-esque burgers, but they're interesting because like they have different styles and a bunch of different things they do with them. But like there's almost like some Korean food fusion involved in it. Like they have they call it the Kim Park Lee, I think it was. I'm not exactly sure. I think that's the name. But it's like a burger. You still get the burger patty, but you get like bulgogi in it and some sauce and
Sure.
like some kimchi stuff, I think, in it, or at least some of the salad that you normally get from Korean barbecue, and it was really good. I got that. My friends got this just the regular Eastern burger, I think they called it. But one of the things you can do is you can meatza it, and what they do is they actually give you the burger in this weird thing where, so normally, you know, the circular side of the bun is on the top, right?
Uh-huh.
That's what we know. So what they do is they actually flip it upside down, and the flat bun gets turned over, and they turn that into a pizza. So you have a pizza bun for your burger, and it was really delicious. It
I
works
like
out.
this.
Yes. So I'll have to show you pictures of it really quick here, but yeah, they have a couple different cool little novelty burgers, and like I said, I found them on Instagram. I don't know how it came up, but it's like the old school burgers, and they have these Korean barbecue-esque fries, which are really fucking good. Those are probably my favorite thing because it comes in like the actual sauce and everything. Like, it's legit. Let's see. Oh yeah, I was right. It's called the Kim Park Lee. They put bulgogi, Angus chuck, cheddar, sautéed kimchi, lettuce, and Meatzilla sauce.
Okay, so we already have a favorite burger place at SWS. It's Grill 'Em All. We're on the Grill 'Em All versus Meats. Which is superior?
Honestly, like, for taste, I would go with Meatzilla.
Really?
Yeah, don't get me wrong. Grill 'Em All was good, and maybe it was just the burger I had that was kind of meh. But like, this place was really good.
Okay, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying like on the as Grill 'Em All being the pinnacle of what we think a burger should be at SWS. Like this is in that category.
Yeah, I would say
Okay.
it's in that category. Like, they have here. I'll tell you about one of the other things that they had here, and I think this is what we had. So we had the Kim Park Lee fries.
Sure.
I guess is what it was. Or actually, no, it was tater tots. My bad.
Yeah.
But they have bulgogi beef, Korean chili, jalapeno cheese sauce, minced onion, kimchi slaw, pickled jalapeno, and kimchi furikake, I guess.
That is correct.
And it was, yeah, and that's really, really good. They have also things called the Ghostface Zilla. Like, they have some like novelty names as well for some stuff. Which is like Angus chuck, applewood bacon, pickled habanero and jalapeno slices, ghost pepper, scorpion pepper aioli, and house jalapeno cheese sauce. The notorious PIG, French fries or tater tots with jalapeno cheese sauce, crispy bacon, minced onion, habanero salsa, sour cream, and cilantro. Like, they have some good stuff.
I would say they are fancier burgers than Grill 'Em All is.
Possibly. But I don't think they're, like, I think in terms of price, they're not that higher up. Like, they're reasonably priced for whatever fancy burger you're getting, so to speak.
Sure.
But yeah, like, it was like, here, the Yakuza. Katsu fried chicken, bacon minced onion, tomato, cabbage slaw, fried egg, and tonkatsu spread. Like, it's good.
Sure.
So I went there, had a couple burgers with some friends, and they were really good. And then we walked over to this place called Little Damage Ice Cream. I don't know if you ever heard of it
I have
before.
not heard of that one.
So, I'm sure you've seen it posted all over the hipster Instagram shit. It's that black ice cream with the black cone.
I think I actually have had this, I think.
Yeah.
It's like sesame ice cream or something?
No, it's actually Nutella.
Oh. I
asked them.
had Asian ice cream that was like sesame-based ice cream. It was good.
Yeah, no, this place is like, if you look on Instagram, it's super publicized with like the stupid like sign that they have, licked at its mind or whatever it's called.
Sure.
Like it's all over. It's the only thing you see, but it's a black ice cream. So what it is I guess it's charcoal activated or some sort of weird thing like that. But it's all right. I like the cone a lot more than the ice cream, to be honest with you. I think the cone was made out of Oreo or some shit. It was pretty good. They have like their other flavors, which like unicorn tears and a bunch of other stuff.
Oh, yeah, fuck a place that does that. That's a little much.
Yeah, but it's good soft serve ice cream, and like I said, it's just that charcoal black flavor, or well, it's Nutella, but it's like charcoal black ice cream.
Sure.
And I will say, it is very dark ice cream, and it will come out dark.
Yeah, have you heard my black food coloring story?
No, I have not.
So, black food coloring is just really dark purple or really dark green, and if you don't know that, you will find yourself peeing weird colors.
Ah, good to know. But yeah, I was surprised because I'm like, oh yeah, that's right, I have charcoal activated ice cream. So I went to the bathroom. I'm like, that does not look right.
What's wrong with me?
Yeah, and it's like, oh, that's right, ice cream. So
that's the worst reality ever. Oh God, what happened? Right, ice cream.
Yeah. But yeah, but it was pretty good. And so after I did that, my buddies wanted to grab a couple drinks, so we had a couple. I haven't had a beer in a while because, like, you know, with the whole carb thing, I wasn't having any alcohol. Yeah. And so I got a chance to enjoy a couple beers. So I went and had some. I went with Stone because that's my tried and true. I actually really enjoy the taste. Ruination
used to be a favorite. They changed the flavor on me.
I think I had it once before, but I had it recently, and maybe I can't really compare them because it's been a long time between the two. But I did enjoy what I had. So it was a good beer. I'm gonna enjoy a couple more beers before I really start going on my diet again because I've been off of it for a little while now. But yeah, I did that. Then we went after we got drinks. We went to go see Avengers: Infinity War again.
Is it still good a second time?
Yeah, it was. I got to enjoy. Like, here's the thing: I had to go to the bathroom, and I still wanted to stay around and watch. So, I really like that movie. I'm glad I saw it twice. I probably will see it one more time at some point, just because I really enjoyed it.
I still haven't managed to see it,
dude. It's a good movie. I'm probably overhyping it for you, but like I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So, and I think it's because it just goes right into action.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but good things, and I've seen that fucking dissolving meme everywhere. Like, I've hit this point where part of me is like, I should see this still, and it's like, or
yeah, but yeah, it's really fun. I really, really do like it. I'd recommend it again, even after I've seen it twice. I still want to go see it.
It's really still good.
It. It's still good. Hasn't lost its magic. So, that is pretty much what I've been up to. I do have one more thing that's kind of big, so that'll be fun. I am officially leaving, not the podcast. I'm actually just moving over.
We'll see about that.
Am I kicked off the team?
I don't know,
Charlie. But yeah, I ended up landing a nice little gig out in Oregon, so I'm going to be moving out there in the coming weeks, probably sometime near the end of June, I would say. Not 100% sure yet, depending on, obviously, finding an apartment and all that. So now the hunt for an apartment and moving logistics has begun. So, and considering this is this is a statewide move, I've never done this before, I'm kind of in the dark, but luckily I have Charlie to help me out.
Yeah, I as someone who used to move things in large trucks for a living, kind of, like, that's kind of what being a roadie boils down to in a weird, dark way. It's been funny hearing you say things like, I'll do this, like, don't ever do that. That's the worst thing you could do.
Yeah. Well, that's why I figured I'd say something, but yeah, no, I'll definitely be picking your brain, but yeah, that's kind of the biggie. I'm excited. Not all of the zoo will be coming with us, it sounds like, so just for those of you who are wondering what the zoo and the adventures like here, not all of them will be coming. We'll be bringing our dogs, the tarantulas, and the snake.
There will be a battle royale.
Mm-hmm. That sounds like the better way to do it.
Only the strong will make it.
Yeah. That actually sounds like it makes more sense.
That sounds fucked up.
Yeah, just lock them just open all the doors and then lock them in the, all the cages are open and then just close the bedroom door for about an hour and come back.
It's just the snake sitting there looking fat as shit. It's like, well, okay.
Well, the snake got the little dog, but that's about the rest of it.
Oh, it's got the big dog, too, in my story.
It's just ruptured from eating the giant dog.
No, it's just got the dog, like, standing up inside of it. Like, I know this is not how snakes work, but that's how I'm saying it does.
You can see the wagging tail from inside the snake.
Speaking of dogs, I found out my dog can wag its tail today, and pugs trying to wag their tails are weird.
Does it have a stubby tail? Or...
It's got, like, a long, curly, cute tail, but, like, it functions like a stubby tail, so, like, the bottom of it moves back and forth, and the rest of the tail stays weirdly in spot, and I'm like, what the shit are you doing?
Huh. That's kind of goofy.
Yeah.
So how is your dog?
She has a rawhide right now, so she's happy.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad you guys are doing well. I love all the posts that you're putting out there. It's great.
She is a great dog. She's definitely not a terror, and I am the wrong person to own this dog, which I feel bad about because, like, I find myself saying, like, the worst sentences ever because I refuse to be one of those people that's like, oh, it's my fur baby. I'm her dad. Jen's her mom. I'm like, fucking no, it's a dog. And, like, eventually I'll, like, and people will push it, like, oh, you'll feel differently. I'm like, no. The fact that I could snap this thing's neck and not go to jail for that probably will never be lost on me.
No, you can definitely go to jail for that. Especially in California.
California's I'm not saying that I would do that, but it's like this weird thing where my brain goes like, nah, this is not a person. I love it. It's great. It's really adorable. I don't wish it harm, but please stop trying to make me feel the same way I would feel about it than if it was a human baby.
Well, I don't think the comparison is to a human baby.
That's where some people take it. Like, I know some people like, oh, your parents are parents or grandparents now, and I'm like, you could go fucking die.
I will admit, I have used cheesy phrases like that before, though. But, like, I know there's a line where, like, here's the difference when it comes to that. Like, I will say dumb, cutesy shit like that when it comes to it. Like, oh, here come the kids kind of thing. But, like, here's the thing. If that dog ever got aggressive against other people, it's gone. Like, that's the difference. I'm not like, well, I'll try to defend it and take care of it. No, it'll be okay. Like, no, like, if this dog ever gets aggressive and attacks a person, it's gone.
If you were a real dog owner, you'd take that dog to therapy, Alex, and you know it.
No, there's only so much you can do when it comes to certain dog stuff like that. Like, And the thing is, even if your dog ever, like, realistically, if a dog ever bites another human being, it's basically got a death sentence. Because most of the time when those things happen, and if it gets reported, that dog gets put down. That's the reality of it.
Yeah. Well, my dog is teething right now, so it bites me all the time, but...
Well, like, aggressive biting.
Yes,
like,
I know.
Teething is another thing. Like, it's probably adorable.
Yes.
It's a small little dog.
It has a rawhide now for that reason, though, too.
Yeah. But yeah, I just like the fact that you're dressing up your dog so much.
That's all Jen, that's not me.
But you're allowing it.
It's not so much I'm allowing it as it was going to happen whether I allowed it or not, so I can just go with it, or I can make a big deal out of it and not, like...
Oh, your dog has flannel. It's fucking great.
It does help that the industry I work in has some very specific kind of accidental dress codes that she has fun messing with. Like, she dresses my dog in, like, TD print shirt pattern stuff, so it's like, oh, it's your summer intern. I'm like, yep. Sure, we'll make that joke. Why not?
Oh, it's fucking great. But yeah, other than that, I really haven't done too much. Just mainly focused on trying to get this whole move thing going now.
Yeah. My move's only across town. Imagine how much fun your move is going to be where it's like, oh god, did we leave this in California?
Yeah, no, that's why we're going to start getting everything done 2 days before, and then literally the last night, we're just going to sleep bare bones.
I gotta pull my move, got it. It's a good move. It doesn't suck at all.
Everything will be cleared out the day before, and that way the apartment will be completely empty on the day we're actually going to move.
Yeah.
We can just walk around.
Cool.
So, yeah, that's going to be happening.
Well, if that's it for weeks, I guess it's time for news. There we go. Still haven't replaced that yet. I did start going through. There was this big release of sound files from, I think it was BBC or something. Like, there's got to be one in there, and it's like, oh shit, it's like 10,000 sound files. Fuck.
Holy shit! It's just free use.
Yeah, it's all free use sound effects. Like, yeah, they're fucking public domain. Like, here, have some.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, I thought it's cool when they released it too. It's like, yeah, you want them, take them. I'm like, neat. Because normally sound effects CDs are fucking expensive.
Well, I mean, there's licensing involved.
It's not so much that. It's like beyond licensing. It's like, oh, the CD of sound effects, we're gonna charge you $100 for it.
Ah, holy shit.
Yeah, like the general rule when it comes to sound effects is once they're on a CD like that, like, and it's not music, it's sound effects, they're kind of publicly domain, or like it's how do you enforce the sound of a knife being sharpened? You can't, so you just charge people a fuck ton on the source.
Makes sense.
Yeah. But we're not here to talk about the various ins and outs of what it costs to get your access to sound effects. We're here to talk about gaming news, aren't we?
I think so, when we're not a food podcast and a dog podcast.
Yeah, well, let's start this one off. I feel bad. I feel bad about saying what I said about, like, my relationship with my dog. I would never hurt my dog. It's a great dog, but, like, I have this bizarre instinct of anytime someone's like, oh, it's your fur baby, I'm like, I could kill this dog. Again, I'm doing it again. Why am I doubling down on this shit? I would never hurt my dog, but, like, it's where my brain goes, because I hate people that are like, oh, it's your baby now! Gaming news! Moving on to that shit! To get me away from this topic, what do we got right off the bat? Let's start off with dog fighting. Pokemon Go Fest 2 has been announced.
I look forward to Trainwreck 2. This will be fun.
So, this only makes the news because rarely do people show that they are, maybe learning from their mistakes. And by that I mean that they have they've made the choice to. This is a pretty big choice, actually. Rather than having everyone in one fucking area like they had last time, which caused all the cell phone issues, they're setting it up across a path that you can walk. So, maybe they'll spread that shit out.
I still think it's gonna fucking.
It's a 2-mile long course through Lincoln Park, which apparently is a real park in Chicago.
I still think it's gonna be bad. 2 miles is not long enough to cover all these people in one area.
2 miles is a lot of space.
It's 2 miles, a lot of space, but reality, how many cell phone towers do you have covering a 2-mile range?
Yeah.
That's the issue. Like, dude, when I met, for example, when I was at Comic-Con, a lot of the areas in Comic-Con had shit reception because there's so many people everywhere. Like, that's the thing. So, I'd like to see how this goes. Maybe Sprint is actually going to invest in getting some boost towers, stuff like that, or whatnot, considering they were the big sponsor last year, or is it again this year, or what's going on with that? Isn't Sprint like the big handler for Pokemon Go? I don't
have those details. I think the reality is, like, the fact we still talk about Pokemon Go is only because I find it interesting and kind of we were big into it at one point. I genuinely think we've reached a point with Pokemon Go where no one fucking cares. Like, not no one, but, like, the majority of, like, the people that make decisions at cell phone carriers and all that jazz do not give a shit. Who knows, though?
I'm intrigued to see how this goes, but I'm not gonna be optimistic about this one.
It's weird. Like, it's Niantic. I feel it's sunk down to kind of Niantic levels where those that are still into Pokemon Go are fucking into Pokemon Go still, and, like, the same with the people that were into Niantic were, like, fucking into Niantic and were, like, barricading church doors and pushing people off roofs and shit and, like, other crazy-ass bullshit, because that game brought out the worst in people. If you told me, like, it's twice the size of whatever community that was, I'd be like, okay, that sounds right. But it's weird, because when it was hot, it was like, okay, this is the big next thing. And then then summer ended and people stopped giving a fuck. Yeah, I find the topic fascinating. Hopefully our listeners still do too. Moving on from that, we have, so Square Enix. You know Square Enix.
Yes, the tried and true, classic, home, very friendly, love them, Square Enix. They make all those Japanese RPGs that I really enjoy.
Yes, they're going to be at E3 this year.
Were they having in the past or what?
They are having a press conference this year. This is the first press conference they've had since 2015.
This is good.
Yeah. Not a lot of details out about it, but it's big news they're putting on a press conference, which means they got stuff potentially.
Yep, the big one, of course, that they're talking about is Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah, but I don't think you can do an hour-long presentation on just Kingdom Hearts 3.
Oh, but you can definitely have people show up.
Yeah.
That and then lead them along for a while.
Yeah, that's true. They in theory have stuff like they could do the new Tomb Raider at this, which would make sense because they're technically the publishers behind that. If they still had Hitman, it would totally make sense that Hitman Season 2 was happening at this. But
do they not have Hitman?
No, IDOS, the guys behind Hitman, bought that out from them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it's June 11th, Monday, 10 a.m. Pacific time. So yeah, more for the docket.
Huh.
Yeah.
Good. But apparently, I guess I was reading on here, they're working on an Avengers game?
Yeah, they do have that. I totally forgot about that. There's no details on it, but...
No, it's fucking quiet. Yeah. I don't know what the fuck they're doing with that.
Yep. Huh. If Jeff was here, he'd be all, what about the Final Fantasy VII remake? That'll be there, right? And I don't think that's real, but who the fuck knows?
You know what? I love Final Fantasy VII, but seriously, they need to let that shit go. They've done a version where they upgraded it and they released it again.
Not really, but...
Well, the one on PC actually is not bad, and there's somebody went around and came up with high-def textures for the whole fucking game, so that looks pretty nice. But
that's a mod though at that point, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a mod, but the actual game itself was originally done by Square Enix and put on PC.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, but seriously, at this point, what the fuck else are you going to introduce? It's spoiler alert. Fucking Aerith dies. Sephiroth's an asshole.
What?
Let that shit go, people. I get it, but this is starting to reach levels of Duke Nukem Forever-esque lore.
Oh no, Duke Nukem Forever wishes it was at the levels the Final Fantasy VII community was. No one was clamoring for the return of the Duke. I think it's one of those things, if you told, the right Final Fantasy VII fans, hey, if you killed, 100 people, and then we'll release it the next day, you would get some murder done.
Please don't go murder people. That's not a real announcement.
Yes, I'm just saying, it's the Final Fantasy fan community is passionate, especially about 7.
Well, yeah, 7's the golden child.
It's not even the best Final Fantasy, I'll say it.
What do you think is a better Final Fantasy?
I like 9 a lot.
9 is really fucking good.
I like 9 a lot. 15 was okay. 1, 2, and 3 are also pretty fucking good. Every Final Fantasy is different by enough that, each is kind of cool in its own way, I guess. Even 10, which has some real fucking problems, the graphical quality of that game is fucking impressive and kind of cool. Only, I think 12's the one I hate, but, what's one with Lightning? That's gotta be 12, right?
Not sure.
The one with Lightning is bad, but it also, it's still kind of okay, because they changed it up. It's a different battle system, which makes it different, I guess. I don't know. 7's cool and all, it's got a cool cast, but, it's got no Black Mage, and Black Mage is the fucking best Final Fantasy character.
I beg to differ. I would say 10 is probably one of my favorites, just because it brought us Riku, which brought us Jessica Nigri cosplays, so thank you forever. Final Fantasy X for bringing us through.
If we're going along that lines, 10 is also good, but not for Riku, for Lulu.
Lulu was pretty fucking cool, though. I liked her.
Black Mage character, always best character in every game.
I like Auron a little bit more for that one. Auron was just kind of...
He's cool. His weapon isn't a voodoo doll.
That's true.
And he's not wearing an outfit just made of belt buckles. Lulu is peak Final Fantasy character design.
Lulu is peak goth Final Fantasy character design.
I don't know. There were more belt buckles in a lot of those games than dudes in sunglasses.
I mean, just overall, because they have a lot of very unique styles for those characters. But...
Well, and as we all know, power level in Final Fantasy is based on the number of belt buckles you have.
Well, how many belt buckles did was it Titus have?
Titus fucking sucks with that horrible laugh. Ha 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 ha.
It brought us great meme moments.
Yeah, there are there are parts of 10 that are great. I think from a gameplay standpoint, like 10 is when that franchise takes a turn that I maybe don't like so much. Like,
the only thing I did not like about 10 was the final boss, which was hot fucking garbage.
I think the story of 10's real bad too.
The concept is pretty cool, but the execution at the very end was fucking hot garbage.
I think lots of 10 is worse than you remember it being.
I really did enjoy it though.
Blitzball.
Blitzball was the shit! What are you talking about?
Sucks.
Blitzball was fucking awesome!
Let's put math into a badly thought out sports system.
It's not math.
It's totally math.
How is it math?
You have to calculate percentages and figure out, like, what the drains for stuff is going to be if you're going to use moves and shit. Like, let me rephrase. Blitzball with a Game Genie in there, or it's not a Game Genie, a Game Shark in there is fucking fine. But the process of leveling up your fucking Blitzball team is bullshit.
Fucking it's a Final Fantasy game! The entire game is based off of fucking grinding and leveling. Are you kidding me?
Don't put an extra path for me to grind in.
And it was optional!
Except when it wasn't.
Yeah, one game! One game!
Was there more than one?
No! One game you had to play.
I had to play Blitzball to get Waka his best weapon.
Yeah, optional. Optional. I'm sorry. That's like saying, well, I don't want to have to grind this out, even though it's my best weapon, having to do the fucking chocobo race where you end it with negative time.
That was bullshit too.
Yeah, that's optional. You can totally beat the game without having to get that.
I did not like Blitzball still.
I fucking leveled up one of the best fucking Blitzball team. I was like a fucking coach trading players, getting these people to be better. Oh, this guy's a free roster. Fuck yeah, pick this guy up. Hey, this guy sucks. Trade him off. You know what? I loved fucking Blitzball. You're
just wrong.
No, it was fucking fun.
I want you to go back and play Blitzball again and see if you still think it's fun.
I wish they had come out with some sort of multiplayer version.
Okay, on that I actually agree with you, because I'd have loved to have seen like a world where Blitzball was an esport.
Fuck yeah! Fucking Titus shot, the jet shot, the animations never got boring. Loved it.
You're so passionate as to how wrong you are, but we're gonna move on.
Disagree, friend.
Yeah, we're gonna move on. There's no ending this conversation with just the two of us to something a little less polarizing, I suppose. You know that Neo Geo Mini we talked about a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, I heard about that.
It's totally a thing, and it's kind of cute looking.
Yeah, I saw some of the screenshots.
It looks like a tiny Neo Geo cabinet.
But like, how do two players play?
It's got controller ports.
Wait, what? That's kind of cool.
You can plug shit into it. Like, it's in a weird twist. It has a screen built into it and a full joystick. Like, and I assume the screen and the joystick are going to be by like arcade standards shit. But at the same time, it's kind of cool they're on there. Like, it literally looks like the top half of a Neo Geo cabinet, which I find genuinely cool. Admittedly, the Japanese version way cooler than the international version, but it comes with like 40-some-odd games.
Which is cool, but I don't know how the fuck this is going to work with two big people trying to play
so
on
it's got plugs
screen.
You can plug normal controllers into.
Yeah, but this is a tiny-ass
It also
TV.
hooks up to a TV.
Oh, it does hook up.
Yeah, the entire thing hooks up to a TV as well. Like, it's got an HDMI port, so you can do that, which, again, is cool.
Now I'm in.
Yeah, so it's got a 3.5-inch LCD screen. It comes loaded with 40 games. It looks like it looks like a cabinet, kind of. It's got an HDMI port in the back if you hook it up to a TV, and it's got a headphone jack and 2 external controller ports.
Okay, I'm in this now.
Yeah.
I feel good about this.
What I want to start seeing is this thing, like, plugged into TVs at fighting game tournaments. So it's this tiny little cabinet with two controllers bigger than it plugged into it, just for sheer entertainment value.
Yeah, no, I'm in that. If it's got the HDMI output and all that, okay.
Yeah, it's sick. There's no official list of the games yet, but...
Well, obviously you've got your Metal Slug, you've got your King of Fighters games.
One would hope. Oh, shit! This is a better way to play King of Fighters, potentially. You're right. I didn't even think of that.
Yep, because it's going to have the old school fucking King of Fighters.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Who made Virtua Fighter?
Yes, sir. Virtua Fighter? I think
Sega,
that was Sega. That's Sega.
Man. Okay, yeah. But at the same time, reality is there's not going to be a single game on this you can't get off an eShop for a current console. So
yeah, realistically, that's the case.
Hamster did good work, but at the same time, like, this thing's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It looks slick. Like, of the other kind of mini retro consoles that have come out, this is the first one I'm like, actually, no, that'd be kind of cool to have on a shelf or something. It's a tiny arcade cabinet. That's bitchin'.
And it's like, you know what? Let's actually play it on an actual TV. HDMI input, now game.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm down with that. Do they have anything about a price?
Nothing on those details either. I'd say you can probably sell it for $60, and that's about it. But at the same time, it's got more tech in it than the other ones do, potentially, because of the screen and the little joystick, so who the fuck knows?
What kind of... I don't know anything about the controllers either. Have they ever mentioned what kind of controllers going to work?
No details, just ports.
Hmm.
Well, but Seeing also has the PS4 controller and the Xbox One controller, and technically the Xbox 360 controller and the PS3 controller all work off USB.
Got it.
It might just be smart. Like, fucking fight sticks work off USB at this point.
They do. I have a fight stick with USB.
Me too.
Makes sense.
You want to do leaks, Nintendo, or Steam weirdness?
Let's do Steam weirdness.
Alright, so Steam, in kind of a badass, but also who the fuck is this for move, has gotten out there and said, using their whole Steam Connect system, you may be able to use your games on your phone.
Huh.
So the Steam Link app, coming out the week of May 21st, will let Steam users play their games on Android and iOS devices, phones, tablets, and even Apple TV if they're connected via Wi-Fi or Ethernet to the same network as a PC or Mac with Steam installed. Kind of like that whole screen sharing thing they use, so you get your PC stuff up on a TV easily. It's called like widescreen mode or something.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, the Steam full whatever screen thing, yeah.
Yep. This feature will be compatible with Steam controllers and MFI controllers too, meaning the controlling games hopefully won't be a total nightmare, etc., etc. Valve says it will also bring out a similar video app later this summer. If you purchase movies over Steam, you'll be able to watch them for Wi-Fi or LTE.
Looks interesting, but
if you could do it without being on the same network, then I'd be like, fucking holy shit.
Yeah.
But at the same time, this is still kind of cool. Like, I have some Steam games I wish I could play on an iPad.
That would be kind of nice.
Like, think about all the RTS games I have that, like, I could just, like, suddenly start swiping at, potentially.
This is true. There are some good games that would be a lot better if you had a touchscreen or a swipe option and things like that. I could see that, but, I don't know, like, I feel like this is going to be that weird angle to push for people to get that Razer phone.
Yeah.
It gets that really good
like
game
I said,
experience.
I don't know who this is for, and again, like, it's not like I can go to work, whip out my phone, and play a game I have at home. I have to be on the same network as the thing I'm tapping into, so it's not exactly what you'd want, but it's getting there. It's really only acting as a screen for your computer.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it does make that whole Razer phone thing make a little more sense. Like, I suspect it works fine on my Samsung phone. This feels like a weird move unless Valve knows something about phone tech the rest of us don't, which could also totally be possible. Like, for all we know, Valve's gonna launch the Steam phone next year.
That would be interesting. Have there been any signs about that?
No, I just made that totally up on the spot.
Oh, I would have believed you if you told me it was yes.
But the same, but like the controller thing also is the same deal. It's like, hey, we have a controller now. You do? Yeah. Moving on from that, some crazy ass retail leaks just happened.
Oh, retail?
So these are not confirmed. They kind of fall in the same category of rumor, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
It is what it is, unfortunately. There's a long-standing tradition of our dear friends at various retail outlets actually listing games that maybe aren't announced yet or don't have release dates yet or whatever you want to call them. And our dear friends at Canadian Walmart recently put up some game listings for some games that I don't think anything on this list surprises anyone, but the fact that maybe it will be out this year and or that these are like what they're actually being called is kind of a big deal. So so we have a picture. We'll talk about it now, though. So you got Super Smash Bros. Switch coming in at $79.96, so Canadian dollars, so probably kind of whatever the typical pricing is your area. Borderlands 3, another Assassin's Creed game, some new Destiny content, Lego DC Villains, Dreams, that PS4 kind of trippy game, Insurgency Sandstorm, never even fucking heard of that one, and probably the biggest out of left field one possible, Rage 2.
Didn't Rage 1 not do so well?
Rage 1 was a really kind of coolly ambitious, really smoothly playing game with a completely terrible story and one of the worst endings in video games ever. It was kind of a tech demo of id showing off mega textures and shit. Like, the game looked stylish.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that game had some cool-ass shit going on, but, yeah.
Huh. That's interesting. I mean, some of these I haven't heard anything about Gears of War, so that's interesting.
I didn't say Gears of War.
Maybe I didn't hit my eye on it. No, I'm saying on the list of the ones they talked about, there's some surprises. They mentioned Gears of War.
Oh, yeah, Just Cause 4 got an announcement, potentially.
Yeah, a new Assassin's Creed, that's a shock.
Yep. Yeah, big surprise there.
Yeah.
Big surprise.
And of course, Walmart Canada was quoted saying sorry for the unannounced.
Sorry. Yeah, new Dragon's Quest. Nothing surprising, really. Tom Clancy's The Division 2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is early as
it's
this year?
listed. They're listing it now, so who the fuck knows? But I think this is more an indication of stuff you may see at E3. I'm not sure all this is coming, but it's never totally clear with these leaks. So,
yeah.
Like, to be fair, none of these postings have even a vague screen. They have no cover art associated with them, so they might be a long ways off. So who the hell knows?
Yeah, I mean, even in the screenshots, they had fucking Smash Brothers listed. Although they did say that's coming out this year.
Yeah.
At least when they. We shall see.
That we shall.
The ramp up for E3 is real.
Yep. The realist, if you will. I'm not gonna lie. Of that list, like fucking Borderlands 3, I'm like, oh, that could be interesting. I could go for more Borderlands.
Borderlands is a lot of fun, though.
Yeah. Indeed. We're gonna kind of use that transition point. Let's do some Nintendo news right now.
Yay, Nintendo.
Nintendo is once again being sued by Game Vice. I think we talked about them previously as suing them. They withdrew that suit and are now refiling. And I don't know a ton about the law, but now that I see pictures of what they're suing over, it's actually a pretty fucking compelling lawsuit. So, Game Vice makes us have controllers that clip on to the sides of tablets, and they sure as fuck look like Joy-Cons. Like, it basically lets you turn an iPad into something that really resembles a Switch.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have full Switch functionality. They, like, beyond the fact they offer the same function as a Joy-Con, it's kind of but the argument is that the patent argues for they have a patent on controllers that clip onto the side of a tablet, and that's what the Switch is, technically.
Yeah. But here's the thing, though. Like, if you unplug them, can you still use them on that tablet?
I assume so, because, like, at least the picture shows these things just kind of on the sides, meaning, like, it's not... There's no way these controllers are hard tapping into the tablet.
That's true. Okay.
It's gotta be Bluetooth. Or something similar. Like, yeah.
Bluetooth seems more likely.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I don't know. That's interesting.
Oh, I'm sure this won't impact the Switch at all, but, like, now that I'm seeing pictures of this and that, it's like, it's coming back, and it's being fought with the U.S. trade investigation and stuff like that, so it's weird. I don't think this will go anywhere. I expect Game Vice will get paid a bunch of money to go the fuck away. But it's really weird that you look at this and you're like, that's a fucking knockoff Switch. Oh, this came out a year before the Switch? Huh. Like, I went and tracked these down on Amazon. You can fucking buy these. They look like pieces of shit, but, like, they look like Joy-Cons.
Yeah, this is going to be sticky.
Indeed.
Because it does, I mean, God, it's hard to argue that.
Yeah, and if the argument truly is we have a patent on controllers that, like, slide on and act as a control, like a handheld for a tablet, fucking yeah, that's what those things are.
But I mean, is that close enough or that it could technically count for that? Or is Nintendo Switches different enough that it doesn't?
Well, here's the thing.
Is that patent generic enough?
Yeah, I think it is, because that's what the Switch does.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the reality is patent stuff, like when this type of stuff happens, it's not, you don't patent specific technology, you patent kind of a concept that your patent that your product deals with, if that makes any sense. Typically, like you obviously patent the exact technology, but you always word it in a way that you kind of have a broad-reaching scope. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's and patents aren't just technology. You have like music patents and shit like that. Like, there's an episode of Silicon Valley where they have a fantastic explanation of how patent trolling works, where someone went out and bought a fucking old ass mariachi song. As it turns out, the main beat of that song is used over. It's a generic enough beat that like a bunch of people in modern music use it over and over all the fucking time, not knowing it's technically a real song that exists. And the person who holds that song rights sues these people, gets paid $10,000 to go away or whatever. And yeah, but patents are vague intentionally. It's to give you some kind of back the fuck off bubble around your idea.
That makes sense.
Yeah. And we're obviously not talking about the exact legalese or wording of the patent, but like if the patent is on controllers that clip on or slide into docks on the side of a tablet, that's kind of what the Switch is. But I digress. We got more Switch news. Cloud saving is finally fucking coming to the Switch.
About fucking time.
Didn't we talk about this kind of last week?
I think we mentioned it briefly, but I don't think we went into too much detail about it.
I can't have to delete this one off our list, but yes. So we're not cloud saving. You can finally back it up. That's the more important part, I guess. That's the new news.
Yeah,
if you will.
Which makes sense. Yeah, you can actually have cloud storage for your game saves.
The Nintendo paid service comes out in September. You now have to pay for online, etc., etc. You can back up to it, which is great. You get 20, or is it 40? It's 20 Nintendo games for free. You can kind of download Netflix style off of it into your system to play with. It
says on here it's a smartphone app game for the NES games.
I can't tell. Yeah, it's reality is it's dirt cheap. It's $4 a month, $8 for 3 months, or $20 for a full year. So, and there's a concept of family accounts that will cost you $35 a year. So that's neat, I guess. But yeah, I am curious how this is going to impact things, because this will definitely start addressing like online play and stuff like that, which means Splatoon, ARMS, and Mario Kart 8, which are currently enjoying free multiplayer, won't anymore.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. So this is their Xbox Live.
This is their PSN Xbox Live. And I don't know a ton about those three games communities, but I think saying, hey, it's really hard after we're almost 2 years of Switch now, aren't we?
I think so.
Yeah, I think it's really hard at this point to say, oh, hey, Splatoon costs money now.
It's going to be a rough argument, especially considering, like, even then their online service stuff that they're offering isn't even that fun.
Yeah, and, like, the fact you can't voice chat through the console is bad.
You got to do it to the phone, which is stupid.
Yep. So, and I guess kind of adding to the kind of interesting choices, someone from Nintendo also finally got out there and officially said there is no virtual console coming to the Switch. Now, before you get your pitchforks, remember, the phrase virtual console was kind of a weird thing that got tacked on to the two previous iterations of Nintendo technology.
Mm-hmm.
It basically implied, hey, we're bringing lots of old games to current hardware. This doesn't mean they're not going to do that. It just means that probably if you already own that game, it's not coming forward, ever.
Yeah.
You're going to have to pay for it again if you care about it.
I don't know. This is... I don't know how Nintendo's going to get away with this one.
I think they're going to get away with it fine. I think it's... You and I are not Switch owners. I own a Switch, and I'm not really a Switch owner. Like, I blow the dust off that thing every couple months, play something. Like, that thing has become a Wii U to me, where I'm like, I'm waiting for Bayonetta 3.
Uh-huh.
It's like, oh, you should play more Splatoon. I don't like Splatoon. I didn't like Splatoon that much on the Wii U. Like, I only played all of Splatoon on the Wii U because I was unemployed at the time it came out, I think. Or, like, I had, like, a lot of time I was trying to find shit to fill with that time, so there you go. And I'm not saying Splatoon's a bad game, but, like, it's like, oh, Breath of the Wild, also available on Wii U, and also, I don't like that game. Like, I beat Super Mario Odyssey in a weekend. It was a good game, but I don't think I've bought a game since. That's not fair. I bought Bayo 2 for it, and Bayo is just fucking fantastic. But again, like I think the people that are into the Switch are fucking into the Switch, but I think also people like me that I'm very curious to know what the community of the Switch is like, because like it just got announced as a Monster Hunter game coming to Switch. It's not Monster Hunter World. It's the like collection version of Generations, which is cool. But I'm kind of curious which way the Monster Hunter crowd will go, because World is a superior game. It's just not mobile. But at the same time, I'm like, hey, I can get Monster Hunter on the go now. That could be kind of cool, I guess. Oh wait, they made some real big quality of life changes. Like bows don't suck now. Yeah, I don't know. I think a virtual console would have been a smart move. I think the idea of being able to bring purchases you bought in the past forward would have gotten them a lot of goodwill. But from a monetary standpoint, if people will fucking buy that shit a second time, yeah.
Or even if you made the virtual console like a subscription, maybe? I don't know how you feel about that.
I don't have any objection to it.
Like having a sub, and then you just release games, as time goes on, so you keep people still hooked, so to speak. But
yeah, that's what they're kind of doing. I'm curious to see what type of games come to that, like, hey, you get 20 free games system, like, and that may be the answer. They're trying to really incentivize you to do that shit. So,
because I mean, realistically, let's look at it like this: you have the Nintendo Classic, right? Came out for what? How much?
I think it was $60.
$60. Okay, so let's say $60.
It was 40. 40 sounds right.
So let's just say $40. I buy it. Okay, cool. I've got it. I play it. That's it. No longer are you getting any more money from me. $40 was the cap. It's done.
Sure.
Now, if you do a subscription plan where you release stuff as time goes on for multiple consoles that is supported, and you can play them, you're potentially getting somebody who's paying, let's say if the subscription... What do you think would be a reasonable price for something like the Virtual Console? Let's say if it was a subscription-based thing. $14, $15?
I think so. This is where it gets complicated because they already have a subscription service, which means I think it has to be part of that. And I think, and this is the issue, you've already introduced a price for that. I think if that thing came out at like $20 a month, maybe you could have gotten away with it then. But the reality is my PSN account costs $60 a year, and that's what you can charge, I think.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those ones where it's like, I already technically get free games from my PSN. I don't fucking play them most of the time, but I make sure I download them every month so they're in my library, and I get free access to them in the past. Based on Nintendo's kind of policies and actions in the past, I don't think they're going to kind of word this or set this one up correctly, and last week they announced, hey, we're going to get big into mobile. I think whoever's running that ship realizes, hey, people will fucking buy Ocarina of Time again. Why would we let you carry over the copy of Ocarina of Time you already own when we know, like, not everyone will rebuy it, but enough of you will rebuy it that it will be financially feasible for us to do that.
But see, you wouldn't be buying it. If you're doing a subscription for Virtual Console, you would be technically renting access to the game.
Right, but I'm saying if you could charge just straight $20 for Ocarina of Time again, why would you bother offering it for free?
True.
I'm hard on Nintendo fanboys a lot because I think they're part of the problem occasionally, but I really genuinely believe, and like, I've been part of it occasionally. I've bought games for a third or fourth time where it's like, oh, it's on this console now? Neat. Like my hunt for Shin Megami Tensei 3, like, I bought that for the PS3 or 4 many podcasts ago. Like, it was on the podcast I bought it, which is fucking nuts, because it's like, oh, shit, I got a PS2 technically, but I think whoever kind of understands these things, it's why the PS4 doesn't have backwards compatibility. Whoever makes these decisions goes, you know these fuckers will buy the game again, right?
Yeah.
And the amount of money it costs to port that shit to a new console is way less than developing it from scratch, so you can just keep reselling it.
I don't know. I definitely think there would be a possibility to make more money if you had a Virtual Console. Like, if you made it where you got the basic plan, or if you paid for a premium plan and it included the basic services of the Switch subscription, you can definitely get a lot of money out of people from that.
I don't know. Like, here's the reality. You're not really getting that much with the base Switch subscription. And I'm a strong believer in the idea that's very hard to take something back from people once it's free. I will really be curious to see what happens to the Splatoon online community when you have to pay $5 a month or $30 a year or whatever to play that game multiplayer. Like, what happens to the Super Mario 8 community when you actually have to pay for that multiplayer? Because there's not a ton to do multiplayer-wise on a Switch. Like, in the super shitty category, back on Xbox 360 Gold days, that's how you got access to Netflix and shit, but then you also got multiplayer, so it's like, oh, it's online services. There's a broader scope here. Like, it was shitty when PSN started including multiplayer, but again, like, you got shit with PSN. Like, you get free games already. You get the backups. There's none of these online services are really worth it at the end of the day because, hey, you can't stream Netflix anymore. It would fucking doom your console, but the Switch can't even do Netflix.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm. Although if it ever supported Netflix, that'd be kind of nice.
The Wii and the Wii U did, I think, at one point or another. I know at least the Wii did.
The Wii U does. I know because I ran it once.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're doing with the Switch, to be honest with you. I'm a little confused. There's just a lot of weird... Nintendo's taking a lot of weird paths right now. With, like, they're still trying to keep the Switch going. They talk about making the Switch feasible over a long period of time. And then they're also like, we're also going to bust really big on the mobile platform. At that point, you have your console competing against people's phones.
I don't think it's a competition at that point. I think it's... maybe this is me kind of talking about my bias at this point. I don't think mobile games and non-mobile games compete with each other at the end of the day. I think it's... You have people that will game on a phone and are never going to buy a PS4 or a Switch or an Xbox One or even a PC that games at that point. But it's on their phone, so it's cool. Like, what do you think the reaction to Super Mario Run would have been if it came out on a console?
It's not a console.
Fuck this bullshit, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's a game that's acceptable in mobile land.
Okay.
Like, hell, this Legends game I'm playing, if that was on a console or PC, we'd all be like, oh, it's a shitty rip-off of Destiny clone thing. But because it's on my phone, I'm far more forgiving of its bullshit. Like, it's not great, but it's good for a phone game. Yeah, I think it's... Like, Hearthstone is the one weirdo in this conversation because it plays on everything, and I think it's best on a phone because of tactileness, but, like, you don't gain anything from that thing not being on that platform, and it's not like it competes with itself. You're playing Hearthstone on one account across all your devices.
Mm-hmm.
Same with Gwent and shit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think mobile competes with traditional, air quotations, video games the way you think it does. I think they really are two separate camps. Where, like, my girlfriend will play mobile video games, doesn't really play non-mobile video games. Like, they're so different in who they're appealing to and who they're going after. Like, Angry Birds was a giant-ass mobile game that if it came out on the consoles, when it did actually, it was on the Xbox, I think, was only kind of and it's like, why would I play this on Xbox? Why? What is wrong with me? I could just play Halo.
Okay.
Yeah, I think when Nintendo says we're getting to mobile, it's more like, hey, there's this entire group we haven't tapped yet. Does that make more sense?
I guess. I just don't... I don't know, I just feel like they might be splitting their resources up at this point. And if they
resources maybe, consumers no.
I guess my thing is, like, when you split certain resources, you're going to lose... There's going to be a drop in quality somewhere.
I don't think the people that will handle Nintendo Mobile will be the same people that you'd assign to, like, the next Zelda game or some shit like that, so maybe I'm kind of just guessing at that point, but they are genuinely different developers at that point, I think. Like, there is some in between, but, like, a studio that develops a good console game won't necessarily nail a good mobile game. Like, they're very different things to develop for. And, like, and maybe if you're good at one, you can do the other, but I don't think that's true. Yeah. I don't know. Moving on from that. The Fortnite Avengers mode. It's cool or whatever.
Have you seen anything on it?
I have seen it. It looks dumb.
It's pretty fucking cool.
It's the most timely movie tie-in a video game has ever had. It's It's neat. It looks like a fun mode to mess with Fortnite with some, but as someone who doesn't think Fortnite's fun, it's like, okay, cool.
Well, for those of people who enjoy Fortnite, it is a fun mode. It's already been out for a few days now, but I guess it all stemmed from the fact that the directors of the Avengers were big fans of Fortnite, and they happened to collab and do some stuff. But I'm just kind of surprised considering Disney gave them so much okay with it.
They really didn't. What does the mode entail?
So you drop into basically same battle royale mode, but then at some point the gauntlet will come out from the sky like a meteor and land in a random location, and then whoever picks up the glove becomes Thanos. But like actual Thanos, like the skin, the textures, the whole thing. And then you proceed to have certain powers and just fuck shit up on the map. And if you die holding the gauntlet, you drop it, and then someone else picks up the gauntlet, and then it becomes Thanos. And eventually the circle gets smaller and smaller, and you have this one dude who's stupid, overpowered, but he's still beatable.
Yeah.
Flying around the map.
So it's basically Juggernaut mode.
It pretty much is a Juggernaut mode, but an Avengers theme.
Yeah.
But it's kind of
like I said, it's the most timely video game tie-in to a video game ever.
It is, but I think it's just kind of fun and interesting considering, like I said, that Disney kind of gave the okay on it.
So maybe it's kind of your Marvel bias speaking a little, the Marvel vs. Capcom bias speaking. Like, I don't think they really put that much. Like, this was not a risky move. Like, it's okay, what's Thanos gonna do? Smash shit. Oh, what Thanos already does? Fine.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, I'm sure they're a little bit protective of their properties right now, considering what happened with maybe Infinite.
So, and I think what happened to Infinite's because Marvel, or because Disney kind of mucked with the Marvel end of things. So they had a lot of rules about it. I think it's one of those ones where it's like, hey, how's Fortnite doing? Oh, it's the #1 game in like a bunch of places all over the world. That seems like a safe bet. What do they want to do? They want to make it Juggernaut mode. What's that mean? You play as Thanos and you're really strong and you smash stuff. Oh, that requires no thought on our part. We have no objection to that because that's what Thanos does in the movie. Cool. I understand how you think it's a risk. It's the most risky move possible. It's like, okay, it's like if they put it in PUBG, maybe. But isn't Fortnite rated teen?
I think it is.
It's appealing to the exact same audience Avengers appeals to at that point. It is one of, if not the biggest games in the world right now. It's available on fucking every platform. Like, I don't think they paid a lot of money, if any money, for this to happen, but like, this isn't risky at all, dude.
Okay.
This is a smart ass move that happened way faster than normal.
I still think
it's fine. It's a cool idea, but the idea that, like, oh, this is a big, risky maneuver, fucking no, it's not.
I don't know. I figured they'd be a little more protective of it, just in general.
I think you're confusing protective with risk, and, like, this is not, like, they were protective. They put it in something that matches the IP almost exactly. It's like, of the two Battle Royale games, it's the cartoony one, even.
And
it's not like you turn into Captain America or Thor, you turn into Thanos, the bad guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, and reality is, like, a bunch of the skins in this game are already kind of like, there's a fucking John Wick skin. Like, this game's probably already got a pretty good license. Like, there's a fucking character that looks like fucking, what's it, Genji from Overwatch. Like, I don't know how that one's like possible, because that stuff, like, okay, it's obviously Genji.
No, I don't. No.
It looks like a modded out Xbox. It's Genji.
But then, if that's the case, you could say Genji's a ripoff of fucking Gray Fox.
Different faces.
No.
Yes.
Same. Robotic ninja.
Gray Fox has the one dot in the face thing. Genji has the kind of visor style thing.
Robotic ninjas.
Less underglow on Gray Fox, too.
Robotic ninjas.
That skin looks an awful lot like Genji. It's all I'm going to say on this one. Gray Fox and Genji do not look as much alike as you're insisting they do.
I guess we'll have to agree or disagree on that one.
A lot of that happening in this episode. A lot of that happening. I'm sure the streamers are happy, because fucking Avengers shit, yo.
Yeah. I mean, for what it's worth, it's a fun little game mode. And for anybody who's working on if they have the season pass, all the season pass objectives are able to be done inside this mode.
That's cool.
Is nice too.
Yeah. Beyond this, I've been very impressed with Epic's willingness to kind of try weird ass shit in that game. It's like, okay, we're doing this. That's 50 on 50. Well, that sounds nuts. Cool.
The 50 on 50 mode was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and it seems like it pays off for them because it adds variety. It's like, hey, we just blew up the map. Why? Because we did? Cool.
Yeah. And, like, I think it was kind of funny. PUBG tried the 50 on 50, but the servers couldn't handle the lag and it just crashed out.
I think Fortnite is a bizarre example of... Not bizarre, it's... Epic Games is good at making high-functioning games that do what they set out to do. PUBG is a cool-ass game. It has always felt like that game is held together by duct tape, spit, and prayer. Like, reality is, if, like, I'm trying to phrase this one, like, it's what occasionally passes as, like, realism, and, like, it's like, oh, you can't build stuff in PUBG because it's realistic. You can't build stuff in PUBG because the team behind that doesn't know how to implement that in that game. Like, fucking what's his name? PlayerUnknown, like, even admits he's not a great coder. It looks the way it does because the coding engine he uses is an engine he could understand. Like, versus Epic, where it's like, we're fucking good at this shit.
Mm-hmm.
We already know multiplayer. We already have this crazy multiplayer game. We both have this Battle Royale mode to it, and it fucking took off. Fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like a jerk saying that, too. I feel like a jerk a lot in this podcast episode, but it's like, no, it's like, yeah, of course it worked in Fortnite, it didn't work in PUBG. Why? PUBG feels like it's always about to break. And it does, with a fair amount of frequency.
Sometimes. I haven't ever experienced any of those shitty breaks.
Yeah, but there's enough videos out there of, like, bullshit happening where it's like, oh, yeah, that sounds about right.
I have seen some dumb shit happen with the physics, yes.
Yeah.
But, I mean, overall,
yeah,
I've had a good experience playing.
Yeah. I'm not saying it's a bad game just from a technological standpoint. It's like, of course Epic's game is better. It's Epic. They make good functioning games. They made the graphics engine. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, Fortnite's definitely doing it right.
Yeah, they're killing it, like we've said a couple weeks in a row now. But moving on from killing it to not so killing it. And kind of as our jumping off point for our main topic in a weird way this week, it's a little indirect, but we'll get there. Were you around for the CSGO betting debacle we covered on this podcast, Alex?
Oh, yes, I had a great time talking about that.
Yes, so one of the people 2 years ago, one of the people very involved in that got fucking booted off of Twitch because, you're fucking running this sketch-ass gambling site.
Mm-hmm.
He's James Phantom Lord Vargas.
Oh, so he's another asshole who apparently owned part of the fucking site.
That's been the story on that side of things, where he was part of that whole thing where it's like, it's not totally clear if they're spoofing this, like it's wait, you own this site, huh, and you win an awful lot, huh, and you're pushing this service real hard in your YouTube and Twitch with videos that show, like, lots of payouts and shit like that. Okay, what the fuck's going on? But that's not the story here. The story here is he's proceeding to sue Twitch, claiming for loss of revenue because he got booted. And Twitch's response to that was, we're going to countersue you and cite the 15 times you violated Twitch's policies. Yeah, he did not have a small streaming channel. He had 1.3 million followers. Like, he was doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think this is kind of interesting. This is only news because this is Twitch pulling a very not kind of Twitch, let's be cool and hang out move. Like, this is, in some ways, the biggest kind of, what's the right word for it, corporate-ass move Twitch has pulled in a long time. Where it's like, no, let's actually fucking bring lawyers to bear on this one. And, like, here's the reality. Varga is not going to win. Why? Twitch has Amazon lawyers.
That's true. Holy shit, I didn't even think about that.
There is not a chance in hell Varga wins this one. Like, the most he could hope for was some go the fuck away kind of settle out of court money. Even if Twitch didn't have these examples of the times he broke the rules to wheel out, there was not a chance in hell he was going to pull this off. So if you're thinking about suing YouTube or Twitch or any of those things for loss of revenue over whatever reason, even if you have them dead to rights, you do not have the financial ability to go toe-to-toe with a company that's part of Amazon.
Yeah.
Especially if you're already involved in some other lawsuits that are complicated. Like the fucking Steam betting, like the skin betting thing. He also took him 2 years to sue them, so it's... Yeah.
What you're saying is it's not going to go well for the guy.
Well, especially when your argument is, I was never given a legitimate reason for my ban. Like, it's the... When that's your argument, it's like saying, oh, I don't know why I got arrested for all these drugs in my car. Don't tempt them to wheel out instances of why they banned you and just chose to look the other way. And so, here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you get away with something on these platforms does not mean they don't know you didn't do this. Like, and in addition to that, they also have things where they say, hey, we talked to him on Skype about this on numerous occasions. They're like, no, we've been in touch with him before he got banned and shit. Like, it's the, if you're gonna lie, make sure you can cover that lie, or if you're not going, if indeed you are telling the truth, make sure the lie they make up or the counter argument they make up against it doesn't sound significantly more plausible than what you're saying. It's all shitty for me to say because it's taking the side of Twitch, but like, this is the most moronic lawsuit in recent gaming memory. Like, it's the, you're going to lose, and you're going to lose money. Fuck! You already have villain status for getting minors to gamble.
Yeah. This... I want to see how much smash this guy gets into ultimately, because it's going to be pretty fucking glorious.
Yeah. Yeah, but so, speaking of streamers and YouTubers and all those people that make video content, including us, I suppose, you want to introduce this week's topic, Alex?
Sure. So, this is something that kind of came up recently, and I heard about it on another news thing, and I figured it'd be interesting to listen to or talk about. But so everyone, of course, knows Ninja. He's that big streamer. If you haven't heard of him,
he plays that Fortnite, right?
He plays that Fortnite, yes. He's been doing a lot of he's been doing a lot of things. Like he's definitely probably one of the biggest streamers now currently. And he started really leaking into the mainstream. He obviously did the thing with Drake. He held his own tournament. Was it over in Vegas not too long ago?
Yeah.
But he does also have his bad things which have happened, which is of course his controversy where he rapped
in the grand spectrum of controversial things, like it's relatively low on the list of things a big streamer could do, but we still talked about it a couple episodes back, yeah.
Yeah. So I guess he did an interview recently on H3H3 on their podcast where he talked about how he's going to start making his streams a lot more G-rated. I guess his decision, I guess, is kind of like more. He wants to make his stuff more friendly to appeal to a bigger audience, which on a business end makes a lot of sense. I guess his decision, he was saying, and this is a quote, I guess, came from getting an email from a parent who told them they wish they could watch without having to mute the streams. So cursing is obviously the big thing that the parents are concerned about. So he also feels like the kids shouldn't be walking around cursing, and he definitely doesn't want to be the source of that, even though, to be honest, a lot of cursing gets learned from the schoolyard, let's be honest, folks. So yeah, I guess as a business decision, he's decided to kind of still do something where he's going to be focusing more on doing kind of teen-rated R streams, and he's actually going to put the rating in his streams and his YouTube videos. So he'll say like rated PG or rated PG or rated R. So he's still going to have obviously his rated R streams and all that jazz, but he's going to have like, this is a PG stream, this is a rated R stream, things like that. So,
which to be fair, like you can already qualify your content as like for kids, not for kids. All of SWS's videos are qualified as not for kids.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
But like the thing is though, you have the for kids, not for kids. Like that's it when it comes to the video stuff. He's kind of going with a spectrum of like, hey, this is the PG only. This is the PG-13. This is rated R.
Yep.
Like he's very much singling out the ratings for his videos. So in a way, it makes it friendly for a lot of people out there just to be able to find certain things like that. So it's, I mean, It is. It's. I think personally, it's a great idea. It's fucking smart, from a business end. But of course, you have your people who are not happy with it. You have people quoted saying you're trying to be mainstream. Stop it. They're calling them a sellout. Hey, just be you. You don't have to change yourself for your audience and things like that. It's a fucking money move. This and that. Like, I figured. I guess the discussion this week could be like, what is the line, if any, where you are changing who you are for your YouTube videos and streams? And is that a line you're comfortable even crossing? Is it a consideration, especially considering we are, a YouTube channel as well? Like, does that include the podcast? Like,
it's
so that's kind of the discussion I wanted to have today.
Yeah, all of our stuff on iTunes is labeled explicit because we fucking swear a lot. Like, that's the lamest joke ever I just made. But
got him.
The point of the podcast has always been aimed at, like, this is who we are at the end of the day. And the reality is, we're a small ass YouTube channel.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter at the end of the day if we're like adult only, or sorry, explicit content tagged or not. Like, it's not taking away any of our viewership. And I only did it because, like, at the back of my brain, my general reaction is, I did not grow up during the age of having fucking internet on your phone kind of thing, but I don't want to be the source of some kid learning the phrase fuck. Or any swear word for that matter. But at the same time, I don't really give a damn. I think we live in a society where people spend a lot of time bent out of shape over, like, what exact words you're using, where it's like, no, like, the correct usage of the word fuck is one of the best YouTube videos ever, because it's like, nah, there are polite ways to use that word. Like, it is a versatile word that, in used in correct context, is actually a compliment or an insult. Like, it's one of those things where we have lots of words now that, like, at the time they were thought up, we're like, oh, it's scandalous to show that. Like, the same way that showing your ankle was once scandalous. Really, anything that breaks down whatever puritanical things that are left in the world, like, I'm all for people as they are, come as you will kind of thing. Like, if you want to be uptight and not swear, that's fine for you, but yeah. I'm not going to cater to you. Like, I won't swear during a job interview because that's the social norm, but at the same time, I work in a very weird field where swearing is exceedingly common, so, like, I had a coworker at one point whose nickname was just straight fuckwit. Huh. And it was a term of endearment because the kid was a little not all there all the time, and it was because we kept yelling at him, fuckwit, move.
Yeah. I will say, though, this is interesting, because I actually did have an interview with a certain company I will not name, and one of the things they talk about was, like, we're really big on people taking personal responsibility. We actually have a thing we call for people called the failures and fuck-ups.
Yeah.
And that's the official name in the company of that whole part of, like, hey, you fucked up, how are you going to fix it?
No, and I would go so far as to say, like, in the time I have been alive, like, the first time I said fuck in front of my parents, it was a big deal. If you scrolled over to if my parents were raising me in the 2008 thing, the first time I said fuck, like, oh, he's learned a word, whatever. Don't say the N-word. That's the one word we won't let you say. Cool.
Which is absolutely fair.
Yeah.
That's
Don't say racist shit. Cool. You can swear all the fuck you want, though. Neat.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I think it's one of those ones where it's also like when you vilify stuff, like it becomes edgy and cool, and like during the whole Ninja wrapped along to something debacle, the fucking YouTube, Twitch streaming stuff on Reddit was all, when is it okay to say the N-word? It's like, never, unless you're black! And maybe then, don't say it during the stream either, but who the fuck cares at that point? It's like, well, can I rap along to a lyric? No! Just don't say it, maybe! How badly do you need to say this in your stream? Really, dude? And, like, so the reality is, Fortnite is really popular with people. It's really popular with teenagers and younger than teenagers. Why? 'Cause it's not an M-rated game. Like, it's being played in high schools and all that shit. Like, the reality is, like, it's what, 16 to get into an R-rated movie?
Rated R is 18.
No, it's not.
Are you sure?
I guarantee it's like 17 or 16.
17.
17. Yeah, I know it's not 18.
Wait, no, hold on. Rated R. Under 17 requires accompanying parent or adult guard.
Yes, but you can get in at 17 by yourself.
Okay.
Yeah, yes, because that's when you can buy M-rated video games, I think. I don't fucking remember. But yeah, like it's... where was I going with this? Like, the reality, as popular as Fortnite is, it's really fucking popular with kids. And I'm throwing kind of high schoolers in with the kids crowd for this one, because as far as I'm concerned, when it comes to video games, you have everyone who can buy M-rated games and everyone who can't. And yes, you can trick your grandmother who doesn't speak English into buying M-rated games for you, but you're not part of the crowd that can buy M-rated games. You're just a sleazy piece of shit. I respect that, but you don't get my respect for owning an M-rated game at that point. You're not old enough to walk into a GameStop and go, "One Grand Theft Auto, good sir."
Unless you're the two kids in the trench coat?
3, but yeah. Yes.
Oh, it's 3. What was that character's name again?
I'm not revisiting that joke because I can't remember right now for now. Vincent something, I don't know. So
Vincent Person?
No, it was a real last name. It wasn't that, but we're getting off track. Fucking call Ninja a sellout all you goddamn want at the end of the day. He is. He absolutely is. But he's selling out for the right reasons. If depending on how aware of these things you are or aren't, YouTube is going through an absolutely bizarre process right now.
Oh yeah, because you've heard some of the stuff with like the marijuana-based channels that are getting shut down now.
They're hacking and slashing through that thing's monetization hard. And on one hand, as someone who's already excluded from monetization, I get to sit here and laugh and go, "Ha ha, you fuckers that ruined it for the rest of us, ha ha!" And at the same time, like if you were making money off YouTube and suddenly you're out of the job, I do feel for you. Like I have long wondered what the reality was once the YouTube bubble burst and YouTube said, "All of you fucking content creators that we can't predict because you keep saying racist ass shit or like violating our terms of use or making it uncomfortable for our ad campaigns to go in front of it, you're all no longer capable of making money." I always wanted to know what the world was going to be like after that point, and I get to see it now, kind of, because it's happening left and right, and not everyone will survive.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to die, but the content will go away, the channels will end, kind of thing. Like, there's now a real push to fucking clean your act up so we can put ads in front of you and get reliably cleaned the fuck up. And it makes this is a business decision. Ninja,
absolutely.
Yeah, Ninja is. This isn't like the whole be true to yourself thing. Is like Ninja is making money off streaming and YouTube now. He wants to keep doing that. And for all you fucking edgelords out there who want your Twitch streamers and your YouTubers and all that stuff, like fucking cussing up a storm and being all like, "Fuck this shit, man, this is bullshit," the same sentiment can get put across without the profanity. And for every one of you that exists, potentially 10, 100, maybe 1,000 other viewers do exist that will kind of take your, it's like, "Fuck this man, he's not being true to himself. I want the fucking edge. I want raw, uncut, like pure emotion." Fine, we get it. You're the vocal ones. But the vocal ones are never the majority. Like, if suddenly you can have Ninja broadcast to a larger audience and it covers the loss of audience he's experiencing, okay. He's gonna make that move. Everyone, to a certain extent, should make that move.
Here's the thing, though. He's not cutting it out completely. Like, he's gonna focus on doing some, like, PG streams, but he's still gonna do rated R streams. Like, he's not cutting it out completely.
Yeah, that's what people care about. They care about the fact that he's now pandering, and it is pandering. He is appealing to a different audience than got him to where he is. Like, if you want to be mad at YouTubers that pander, fucking be mad at them. Then you have to be mad at fucking everyone who's ever done that. So that's the Pauls, it's PewDiePie, that's every fucking YouTuber that starts or ends a video with, "Remember to smash that subscribe button."
Yeah. The thing is, I don't disagree with what he's doing. I 100% support what he's doing. Fuck that. Like, I've never got the idea of, like, someone wanting to improve their success, and then people are like, "Oh, I get it. You're just selling out now." Like,
oh, no,
I thought that's the dumbest thing. I have a story about this, because there was a band I really enjoy that I listened to a long time ago, the Mars Volta. I don't know if you ever heard of them.
Nope.
They're kind of a really fucking out there band. But, like, they're very indie. It was like very like hipster underground nonsense that I listened to in high school, and I really enjoyed it. Like, it was really cool. Then they got one song on K-Rock, and they were doing really well. And this one guy was like, man, fuck that band. They're mainstream now. I'm not going to listen to them. And to me, that's like, well, then you were never really a fan of the band. You were a fan of the status you got from following some band that was underground or low-key, but now you should be happy for this band's success. They're getting their music played out to other areas.
Oh, yeah, no, this is kind of, and this is maybe this may be the first instance of it because the first time it's had to happen. This is just every single motherfucker who gets mad at something where it's like, oh, I liked them back when it was $5 to see them at some shitty bar venue, and now it's $50 to see them at a real bar venue. They're not real musicians anymore. Like, this is all the people. Like, this is what I've always wondered about Twitch and YouTube to a certain extent, where it's like, how much of the Twitch watching community is just other people trying to be fucking Twitch watchers who are Twitch streamers who are mad at other people's success, and when they start pivoting to appeal to a totally different audience, like, well, I can't do that because I don't have a big enough audience for this to fucking matter to. Let's fucking hate on their shit. It's like, this is every small rapper that writes a diss track about a big rapper hoping to get noticed and get into beef with them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even care on this topic. Like, it's one of those ones where it's like, what's going on with YouTube is so much bigger than people being mad about, like, oh, Ninja's selling out to be more family friendly. It's like, dude has to survive. You got fucking PewDiePie out there talking about the fact that he's now making more money off merch than he is advertising. It's like, yeah, he's probably still making decent money, but at the same time, I really want to know what happens to YouTube stars after YouTube ends, because, like, the process of transitioning them to traditional media has not worked, and so many of them have built brands on kind of uncomfortable shifting sand and just like fuck real meat or fuck traditional media shit for so long, and didn't understand, like, it's you are aware you don't pay for this website, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you have like other YouTubers out there like Philip DeFranco.
Yeah.
Who's really like, they absolutely do not depend on YouTube's ad revenue anymore. Yeah. Like, they 100% focus on building up their own thing. They've got other stuff going on.
Patreon is totally a thing.
Yeah. Well, he has that, but he also got other stuff going on, like merchandise, things like that.
Yeah.
H3H3 is another one. They've got a lot of their own sponsors, like stuff like that. Like, their YouTube videos are getting sponsored by other companies, like the fucking shave one and all that. But like,
oh yeah, no, I'm not saying there aren't other ways to do it. I'm just saying, like, the same money for nothing approach you used to be able to get away with.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the whole idea of making money off YouTube and purely off YouTube, like, was nuts. It lasted as long as it has.
Yeah, it's been going for a long time now.
Well, again, the reality is, like, if you're gonna, so as someone who's looked into doing merch for SWS, like, I have some special connections that could get us some real sweet deals. But the reality is, if you're gonna do merch yourself, you have to have storage and a way to ship it still. And I'm not saying, like, ship it in a not timely manner, because we live in the land of Amazon Prime, bitches.
Yeah.
If I buy a shirt from someone, I expect that shirt to ship in 2 or 3 days, minimum.
Mm-hmm.
Or at a maximum kind of thing. Like, it needs to be gone within a day or two of me buying it kind of thing.
Yeah.
When it shows up is whatever, but...
And that makes sense. I mean, it's got to get shipped out, at least within that time. At least, unless it's availability issue.
But you have to have the infrastructure for that. Like, the reality was back in the days where, like, webcomics were the big thing in that whole world. They made money off ads, sure, but most of their money came off of, like, Patreon-style stuff or, like, a sale of merch. Like, they went to conventions still because they could walk away with a month's worth of ad revenue in a weekend.
Mm-hmm. It makes sense.
And they were stuck paying for shipping and handling. Then half the transactions were in cash, too. So it's like, it's in cash. You going to report this? Nah. It's cash. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been seeping in, but I think the real world has finally kind of come for the digital platform. And the realities of the real world are, if you can't get advertisers in front of your YouTube video, you don't make money. And you can, like, make money off all that. They're alternative revenue streams, but they're a lot more work.
Yeah.
And the reality is, like, it's the PewDiePie has a shit ton of subscribers. How many of those subscribers would actually cough up $10 a month for Patreon? I suspect the number is less than you'd think. Significantly less than you'd think.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's been a shock to a lot of people, actually, about how much... It's like, oh, I have all these followers. They'll totally cough up content. What do you mean you only liked my content for free? Oh, I don't want to pay for it. I was paying for it by watching ads.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for those of you, like, if you have strong enough content, though, people are willing to pay for that Patreon stuff. Like the thing is, Philip DeFranco does really well with his Patreon and all that stuff because, like, he delivers pretty solid content and multiple things. Like, he's not just, like, his weekly or his daily, like, news vlog thing that he does. Like, he actually has a bunch of other content, so it works for him.
Yeah, but I would also challenge that by saying, like, his content's not quite as replaceable.
How so?
Not to incur the wrath of PewDiePie fans or whatever you want to call it. They're like, what does Philip DeFranco do for content?
It's news.
Yeah, there are lots of YouTube news channels out there, but there are so many gaming channels that are kind of basically the exact same goddamn thing that you can pivot a little bit easier. Like this, what is Philip DeFranco's thing?
Though he does a lot of news, but he also provides an interesting perspective in terms of how he sees it. But he's honest about it. He's honest with his bias, which I think is one of the things I appreciate of his channel.
Yeah, I think it's one of those ones where it's like, okay, what's PewDiePie's thing?
PewDiePie does video games, and that's all I know about him.
There's a bit of a personality to it, but lots of kind of sound effects that lots of people find off-putting. Like, my point is more, there's less of a replaceable personality in Philip DeFranco's stuff than there is PewDiePie necessarily. Like, hell, like, how many Twitch streamers are kind of basically the same person at the end of the day?
Well, that I'm not sure.
I'd go with most to a certain extent.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the video game community does not typically have the best diversity in its content-creating personalities because we have video games to fall back on. Like, how many fucking YouTube channels are basically the exact same goddamn thing? A lot.
Yeah. Not disagreeing with you on that one.
Yep.
So I guess my next question here posed is there a certain line where we, as a channel or a podcast, would like, well, this is the point where we feel we're crossing into selling out, or are we just totally okay with shifting however we need to get stuff done?
Reality is we make no money off this podcast or the website or the YouTube channel, so we've never had to have those conversations. And the reality is, like, I've talked about spinning up some kind of side content podcasts that have nothing to do with video games or SWS, and, like, the first thing about them, though, is because of the markets I'm going after with them would be no swearing or very minimal swearing and definitely no hard swearing kind of thing. Like, this is kind of a know your audience concept, but, like, the reality is, like, you're not tuning into any of our content because none of our content is aimed at kids. It's not even, like, we kind of aim our shit at edgelords at the end of the day, but even then, we make fun of edgelords enough where I've always pitched SWS as it's content for adults who don't want content kind of appealing to teenagers or younger 20-year-olds. Like, this is us, you like us or you don't, keep watching or don't. Like, it's all my jokes at the start of the podcast about how I'm alienating people. Like, please keep listening if you enjoy our content, but at the same time, like, the point of SWS was, this is what we're doing, and you can like it or not. We play the games we want, we talk about the shit we want, we play the games the way we do, and we'll, like, take constructive criticism back, and we'll definitely respond to you, but you're not tuning in for the best gameplay. You're not tuning in because you influenced us. You're tuning in because you like us to a certain extent, and you like whatever the fuck we're putting out. And again, like, when I started YouTube, there was some, like, I looked at when I started doing the YouTube stuff, there was some concept of, like, oh, what do we start with? Oh, all these games are popular. Nah, I'm going to do Brutal Legend. Why? I like Brutal Legend.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I was just curious, considering, like I said, how this kind of relates to, like, shifting your business model and all that.
We'd spin off a side thing, I think, is the answer. Like, and the reality is,
I would definitely make more appearances on the side one, I think.
Why's that?
Because I have the cheery, more happy.
I don't know.
I
can turn it on. I can be upbeat and not me.
We started the podcast and you were already tired of everyone's shit sarcastically.
It involves drugs, but known as alcohol. But
oh yeah, that'll be great. turns out famous YouTuber is drunk when he starts his happy, kid-friendly videos.
Nah, yeah. My dog would be on my lap.
That's true.
Yeah,
That would work.
I'm not always this curmudgeonly, but kind of I am. But okay, so I'm going to kind of invoke another YouTube channel for a second now. So, Ninja got big overnight. All YouTube and kind of Twitch channels do to a certain extent as well. But I had never heard of Ninja or heard rumblings about Ninja till suddenly Ninja was a big fucking deal.
Ninja was big prior to this. He was a professional CSGO player.
I didn't know that about Ninja.
Yeah, my understanding was he used to be a pro CSGO player.
I don't know. I'm talking out my ass some right now, I guess. But it's also, like, Ninja is really popular right now for Fortnite.
Yeah. He
is linked, and maybe this is kind of like the revisiting our weird John Wick and Coke conversations for a little while. Inadvertently, Ninja has associated himself up with a brand.
Mm-hmm.
He is kind of uncomfortably or comfortably, or however he thinks of it at the end of the day, interwoven with Fortnite. He has to kind of keep playing Fortnite to keep the money coming in.
Yeah.
And I pay attention to this because I find this stuff kind of fascinating, but the moment he shifts away from Fortnite, and I mean like stops playing it altogether or seriously, or like it becomes kind of a background game, it will affect his community. Whether his community was showing up for Fortnite or not, like there will be some loss. Like does he play other games even? I don't actually know.
Okay, so I actually pulled up his profile
sure.
just because I want to let me correct myself. He didn't play CSGO. He actually began playing Halo 3 professionally back in 2009. And he's actually played for a couple different teams, including like Cloud9, Renegades, Team Liquid, and currently his team is Luminosity Gaming.
Okay.
So he did all that, the professional Halo. Then he became a streamer in 2011, I guess back on the old Justin.tv before it became the Twitch.tv or whatever that was. So he did a lot of stuff with H1Z1. Then he moved on to PUBG. Then he did, he first joined Luminosity Gaming in 2017 as a Halo player, then H1Z1, then Battlegrounds. Then he began streaming Fortnite more than anything else, and it kind of grew with the game. He rode a really good tidal wave with Fortnite getting popular at the same time he did.
I'm now going to compare him to something called Dado Does Destiny, or Dado Plays Destiny, which for Destiny 1's run was the hotness. Like, it was maybe not the biggest Destiny channel, but one that kind of went from fucking nothing. Like, Dado had some other channels out there, but, like, this was his meal ticket. Like, and it was lots of Destiny content cranked out, and it was one of these things where it's like, it was the almost full subscribership watching every Destiny video he put out. And when Destiny started to die down some in its third year, he put out other content to significantly reduced results.
Mm-hmm.
Because no one cared about Dado, we cared about his Destiny content. Like, I fucking unsubscribed from him when it became kind of this weird vlogging thing about what it's like to be a Destiny streamer. And I'm like, I don't give a shit about this, dude. I didn't like you that much in the first place. I subscribed because you had, like, the inside scoop on some Destiny shit, but, like, now, pshaw. I think it's one of those ones where Ninja has interwoven himself with Fortnite. It's not the first game he played, but it's the one that kind of really catapulted him some. It's the one he's known for now. And that game has a brand, and it has a targeted audience. It's everyone, but it's really fucking popular with teenagers and kids. Like, Jen's nephew plays Fortnite.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like 10, I think. Like, Fortnite has entered into that weird realm that, like, the Halos occupy, where it's not just gamers or, like, the gaming knowledge talking about it. It's fucking everyone. It's everywhere. Like, this is the out-of-control train wreck kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and eventually these things die. They just take a little bit of time. Like, we're now at a point where it's like, oh yeah, Halo 6 might get announced soon. Okay. And there's still a Halo Professional League, but, like, if you were to scroll back to, like, Halo 1 and 2 days and said, like, hey, there's gotta be an esports league with, like, a fucking streaming channel and a TV thing based around Halo, everyone would be like, oh shit! Halo! And now it's like, oh yeah, that exists, I guess. Halo, it's a thing. I own an Xbox One. Halo, it's a reason. Like, that's not me shit-talking Halo, that's just me pointing out, like, you had Halo players, and whether, like, if they chose to move on or chose to stay is up to them, but Ninja is now kind of twisted around Fortnite. He is attached to that thing. Maybe he can shift away from it, maybe he can't, but he's making the savvy business decision of kids like Fortnite.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Like, that's the thing, though. This dude is making the right move.
Yeah.
I'm agreeing with you on that. Like, absolutely the smart move.
Yeah.
But he is interwoven with Fortnite, and he rode that tidal wave of Fortnite.
Yeah, so one of the most interesting conversations I actually had ever at an E3 was with a guy who was a World of Tanks streamer.
Uh-huh.
He got paid kind of a living wage yearly to stream World of Tanks. I think it was like 30 hours a week or something.
Uh-huh.
And he did that. And he paid the bills, etc., etc. Like, fairly manageable streaming schedule, paid by the World of Tanks people. And, like, it was on his personal Twitch account and all that jazz. But it's like, okay, so it's like Monday through Friday, you stream World of Tanks from this hour to this hour for, like, what's that come out to? Like 6 hours a day kind of thing. And we don't care what the shit you do the rest of the time. Had a World of Tanks following. Could not get people to watch his other streams. He's like, I can get 10,000 people in a thing to watch. I'm probably making that number up. Like, it's like I can get a bunch of people in to watch me play World of Tanks, but I'll get like a couple hundred in to watch me play anything else. He's like, and I can't quit my job as a World of Tanks streamer because I'm not really a successful streamer. It's like the World of Tanks community cares about me, but the rest of the community doesn't.
Yeah.
And like I'm kind of locked in at this point where this is what I stream. And I think, and it's one of those things where kind of like a lot of Destiny streamers went through that problem. Like, my name is Blythe. He did lots of lore videos, and his bread and butter was Destiny. And he was kind of very heavily in the Destiny lore stuff, and his content is great. I love his stuff. He's one of the few Destiny YouTube channels you should watch. His stuff is great. It's well edited. It's well done. It's well voiced. His production values are great. Don't know about his streams. I like his kind of lore videos. They're fine. But when Destiny 2 hit, he literally didn't have enough stuff to talk about. And, like, he did a video where he's like, yeah, so, we're gonna do other games now because I can't do this. And he made the mistake of going to Monster Hunter. And you can't do his style content that does really well with Monster Hunter as well because, hey, there's other people already doing it, and that community, unlike the Destiny one, is really specific on who they let be an expert on that game. Like, it's the amount of time you have to put into Monster Hunter to be considered an actual player of Monster Hunter is in the thousands of hours. Yeah, like, the expert YouTubers on that game are fucking hardcore. And unlike other games out there, Monster Hunter has, maybe it does, maybe it doesn't, has kind of the breadth of content kind of to facilitate that some. They do stuff with that game. It's kind of strange. Like, Monster Hunter World was always going to be a smashing hit because it was a Monster Hunter game, but it got people like me that didn't like the previous Monster Hunter games in, which is a giant fucking deal. Who always it's like, I want to play Monster Hunter, but I don't like it on my DS. Now it's on console. Fucking yeah! I have to circle back to my point. Lots of people shackle themselves to a specific content idea or a specific kind of game or whatever identity. And when that game goes out of fashion, either you survive or you die. And I think the reality is a lot of streamers and YouTubers are going to die, A, because monetization just got a fuck ton harder, and two, like, Fortnite is not always going to matter. It may take a decade for that to come to pass, but eventually we won't care about Fortnite anymore. Kind of like the fact that, like, when Destiny 3 comes out, which it will because Activision has contracts, you were insane to release in the same window as Destiny 2. Any game can release in the same window as Destiny 3, I think, at this point, and probably do just fine.
Yeah.
Like, hell, remember the time period we were all about Grand Theft Auto 5?
Yeah, that was fun, but, I mean, Grand Theft Auto 5 is still pushing content out.
Yes, and it's still around, but it's not the same fervor it was.
No. I think that's definitely died down, because everyone's getting ready for Red Dead.
But that's my example. Like, it's the Grand Theft Auto 5 was the hotness on YouTube and stream for a long time, and then it got replaced with some other stuff, and then that got replaced, and then that got replaced. Like, and none of it's gone. They still have audiences for some specific stuff, but it's not like it's not killing it the same way it used to be. It's yeah.
Well, that's the ebb and flow of just pop culture.
Yeah, and I think it's one of those ones where so the two best friends play guys, the super best friends YouTube channel, Twitch stuff. They've built a brand around their personalities. Like they don't play one thing. They play whatever the kind of fuck they want or what fits their brand, and it's their brand, not some game's brand. And whether you like their brand or not, if you like their brand, you're gonna watch their shit. I used to like their brand a lot. I kind of got burnt out over time with some of the games they were playing. With the early stuff, I really dug. The stuff that was on Machinima, that stuff was cool. And the stuff they did around that was pretty cool. Like the first 5 years of their stuff I thought was pretty solid. Or 3 years, 4 years? And they've kind of gone, and they haven't really changed who they are that much at the end of the day. As streamers and YouTubers, they've changed, which has changed their content some, but they are who they are.
Yeah.
Like, in some ways, their personalities have gotten, like, doubled down on, but, like, this is gonna sound real weird. The MOBAs of streaming content will survive, where it's kind of a character-driven thing. The fighting games, where it's all about this one character or something, will not.
Mm-hmm.
Why the fuck did I make that metaphor? And to really circle back really hard to your original question, SWS has always strived to be kind of character-driven and not content-driven at the end of the day. Which, yeah, it seems to work out okay for us.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
This topic took a very interesting twist and turns, and I'm glad we dove into it.
I've been doing so much bizarre research lately on... I don't get why I've been so fascinated with it. Like, the bullshit going around the YouTube stuff is just fascinating to me because it's a bunch of people in their mid to kind of early or late 20s. Like, it's 20-year-olds, kind of that entire spectrum of 20-year-olds that are suddenly, like, they're suddenly not special anymore, or suddenly it's like, wait, I'm not making $100,000 a week off of a month or whatever. They're not making money as easily as they used to, and they're being forced to leap through hoops, and they realize kind of how fucking hard content production really is, especially when you can start putting effort into it. And YouTube is moving to kind of an MTV approach where it's like, hey, the FCC vetted this shit for us already, so it's fine to put on our platform because we can totally advertise it. It's going to be lots of Saturday Night Live clips and music videos or whatever. Hope you like that on our platform. And, like, maybe it will go back at some point, but the reality is, like, YouTube is synonymous with TV at this point, and if they could get more TV on there, they're going to be just fine. They don't need the fucking DIY people.
Yeah.
Like, fucking Cobra Kai is being hailed as one of the best TV shows of 2018.
I've heard it's really fucking good.
It's really fucking good.
You watched it, yeah.
To plug Cobra Kai again, I think that show's really fucking good. Like, that's some of the best TV I've seen in a long-ass time, and it happened to be on YouTube.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of the Netflix effect, where, like, Netflix for a long-ass time had some of the best TV shows that weren't TV shows because they weren't showing up on TV.
Well, Netflix still has some phenomenal programs.
Well, they still have great stuff, yeah, but they kind of crank out 4 or 5 of the same shows over and over now. Like, I noticed a trend where it's like, oh, we're going to take a quirky female character who's in this very specific circumstance that will appeal to hipsters or kind of that group and make a show about how quirky her and her friends are.
Mm-hmm. Is this a particular show you're talking about?
I just watched a new show called, like, about motherhood or something, where it has the same, like, cover photo as, like, 5 or 6 other shows, and I'm like, oh, it's the quirky hipster show, got it. We're gonna take this eccentric-looking person and show you that they're a normal person just like everyone else. We're gonna make the cooking show for people that hate cooking shows.
That would be a pretty good show.
It's it. It's called like Hot Mess or something, where it's a bunch of people that don't have any right being on a cooking show competition, in a cooking show competition with, like, real chef judges being like, this cake is kind of damp. Oh, wait, it's not cooked. Oh, shit. Like, it's a bad show, but because it's Netflix, it's like, look how cool we are. We're not network stuff forcing, like, we're not HGTV and Food Network. We're edgy. Like, and that's what all of this fucking comes down to. It's like, for so fucking long, YouTube and streaming content, like, all of this gamer shit has appealed to the fucking edgelords in all of us, and we're not comfortable with it now appealing to the not edgelord parts of us. Like, we feel special because we have media made just for us. It's raw and uncut, and it's got swearing and tits and blindness and violence, and like fucking Liu Kang will kill a man on stream or whatever. Yeah, it's why you can't talk about religion on Reddit. It's the community feels threatened, and suddenly everyone's up in arms, being like, "Boo! Burn the church!" or "Boo! Burn the family-friendly shit." Like, it's the same gameplay. He's just not swearing anymore. Like, in theory, you should care about it the same way, but you're all into how cool it is to be edgy and swearing.
Mm-hmm.
And occasionally drops some profane language, like, ooh. Yeah. I've probably taken this in some directions you never expected.
No, but I'm interested in seeing how this has been traveling.
Yeah, I've probably monopolizing the sum. You got any stuff you want to add?
No, I've pretty much said my pieces
Fair.
when it comes to this stuff. Like, you evolve with the business, or you're doomed to fail. In the end of the day, like, if you're not a fan of it, take your business elsewhere. That's with anything. Like,
yeah, and this is the latest iteration on Twitch of, like, it's just for gamers. It's now for anyone streaming content. Boo! We don't want this. We're getting rid of titty streamers. No! That was content for us!
yeah.
I want to jerk off and watch League of Legends at the same time and not feel weird about it.
That'd be so odd, though, because later on when you watch League of Legends, your body's programmed to have a fucking erection.
I would fucking love if, like, it's like, and we have the privacy section of the League of Legends World Finals, because, yeah, our community is terrible.
Yeah, like, you really want to give yourself that fucking, was it Pavlov's dog treatment when it comes to fucking League of Legends? Ugh.
That would deeply amuse me. That would really fucking amuse me.
You know what, though? I bet there's somebody out there who has that. But anyway.
If you listen to this and have accidentally found yourself or, like, you can't get hard unless you're watching, or can't get aroused without watching, like, some specific video game ass shit because of titty streamers or whatever the version of that you're into was, please let me know. I will put your email in the podcast. Oh, I want to hear about this so fucking bad. Because you're absolutely right, because porn addiction is a real thing. Titty streaming addiction, I'm sure, was also a real thing.
Yeah. So if you get aroused by things that shouldn't arouse you, such as a video game, write to it.
No, I don't want anything. I want just, like, if you can only, like, if you can only get aroused by watching, like, the worst person play fucking PUBG or something, I don't want anyone, because fetishes are fetishes. I don't really want to know that business, but I want to know, like, I gotta be watching me some Destiny Lair of the Ancient shit or some shit like that. Like, it's only WoW raids that do it for me at this point. And, like, half the people there have to have Korean and Russian accents.
Mm-hmm.
It's gotten that specific. Or don't write in. I encourage you not to do that, too, because that would be weird, but I would find it deeply amusing. Yeah, it's Barbie Horse Adventure that does it for me. That's a choice, dude. It's fucking Call of Duty. Okay, yeah, you're like most people. Got it.
Yeah.
Well, with that transition, we have no emails this week, but if you want to write in, we can be reached at wickedawesomecast@gmail.com. What's that email address, Alex?
wickedawesomecast@gmail.com.
wickedawesomecast@gmail.com. Spelled as it sounds, down the show notes. Yeah, if you want to write in telling us about weird gaming shit you've seen on Twitch or whatever, we'd love to hear about it. We will talk about that. I really wanted there to be like a titty streamer Olympics now or something, or like worlds for video games that were just titty streamers, now that I think about it. Just see how fucking awkward that crowd would be.
I don't.
I do. Oh, I love it when people are like, yeah, I'm going to go to the titty streamer world finals. Does that mean you're good or just popular? One guy who's there's like, I'm only here to see so-and-so play because I love her work as a support character. Really? Really? And then seeing dudes trying to get into that stuff, that'd be great too. I'm a bad person. But yeah, write us emails, etc., etc. Nothing is off limits, apparently. It's been a weird podcast of me saying shit. You got anything you want to pimp before we close it out, Alex?
I may end up having to reschedule my 24-hour stream because I'm trying to get into the motion of the move and all that, so
yeah.
I may cut it down to a smaller stream.
It's amazing how disruptive to an upload and streaming and recording schedule a move can be.
Yeah.
I would know nothing about that.
So, I see. But yeah, still gonna try to do something on the 26th. I may do like a 12 or something hour stream, but I don't think I'm gonna do the full 24.
Sure.
At least not at this point in time. Maybe when I get settled down out in Oregon, then maybe I'll do that. But that's where I'm at right now. Other than that, you can find me on Maeve Online across the board, all the social medias. I post random shit from time to time.
Woo!
Woo-woo!
Indeed.
So I don't think I have anything else. Actually, well, any update on our content stuff?
I had an HVAC vendor come in and be like, it's gonna cost you money to install some stuff here. And I'm like, that's too much money. But then he's like, I might buy your motorcycle, though. And I'm like, that's cool. This weekend was supposed to be Charlie starts cleaning out the garage, and it's not.
There we are.
Yep. If I was a gambling man, I might. We're not going to make E3. We're definitely not going to make E3. I'd like to say we'd be done by the end of summer, but I don't fucking know. This hiatus has been kind of nice in a weird way. It's freedom you have to do lots of time, like have a dog and patch drywall. Yeah, reality is, if I was going to be a gambling man, I'd say like, oh, will any of your hobbies return before like the year is over? I'd be like, I'd love to get back into brewing and video game recording stuff, but I'm not going to lie to myself. Like, I could get back into brewing tomorrow and it'd be fucking easy, but I haven't.
Yeah.
Because I need to move that fridge at some point, because it's in a bad location. Yeah, I don't know. I talked to my electrician about putting, I need new outlets. Outlets cost money. Yep. And take time. Electricians are like, we won't do that for free. And I'm like, damn. I was hoping for free. Free was the price I wanted, but wasn't expecting. What were we talking about again?
Outlets and moves.
Sure.
HVAC guys.
Cool. Yeah, I think that about does it for this week. You want to take us out?
Sure.
Cue the metal.